Okay, I only put on my headphones for the last minute of that, last couple seconds of that. And Milkshake Man is not quite as good with some other music going on behind it. Oops. Oh well. This is not a Spotify in the background kind of game. It's Journey. Chronicles. Eventually unspeakable story, it's Hand of the Baskervilles. I've had a little look-see at the kind of time this is going to take. We will not be finishing this tonight. But we'll get as far as we can. When I awoke the following morning, Sasato-san was already gone. Outside the window, the rain came down in sheets. And so began an even longer day than the last. One that I would remember for the rest of my days. (17:04, 9:30). Good morning, Gina. I'm determined to prove your innocence today. I'm sure we can do it. So where's your friend then? Sorry? You know, her in the fancy dress. Sasato, or however you say it. I don't know. Miss Sasato had to leave early this morning. She was already gone by the time I woke up. You alright with that, are ya? Forget about me, if you like. Go and see her off. It's fine. It's not fine. He's sad. It's not as though Mrs. Sato and I won't meet again, one day. Even so. But you, Gina. You only get one chance. This trial today is all we have. Good morning, you two. How are you feeling, Ginny? Did you manage to sleep? Wow. Iris, what are you doing here? What do you mean? When a friend is in need, we show our support. Isn't that right, Waggy? Ah, it's not right. He left. Ah, Waggy. Great way to show your support, kitty. Let him have a nose around. What harm can it do? Oh, that reminds me. I bought a paper on the way here. Yeah. Would you like the good news or the bad news? What do you say, Reno? Ginny? Oh, well, I think I'd rather get the bad news out of the way first. Nah, always take the good news first. You might not live to hear the bad. Yes, that question always gives away people's personalities. Let's not go there. Alright then, I'll give you the bad news first. A record amount of rain has fallen this morning, and carriages all over the capital are struggling to move. The bad news was a weather report? So I hope that Susie made her train to Dover and that the train isn't delayed on its way to the port. Gosh, yes. Alright then, so what's the good news? Well, the rain is forecast to subside this afternoon. So even if the train is delayed, it should be able to make up the time later. Well, that is good news, isn't it? Thanks, Iris. I couldn't give a monkey's, really. If only all good news cancelled out the bad. And look, this trial has made the headlines too. Pawnbroker perishes in pick-purse plunder. See? How do you like that? Well, let them say what they want. See if I care. I can't, because you're covering your face. Don't worry. Bruno will soon show everyone that this headline is nonsense. I will. And then, in tomorrow's papers, the headlines will be... Discharged diver is dauntless do-gooder. Isn't that right, Bruno? Oh, yes. Let's hope so. Of course I will. I have absolute faith in you. How was that? I was trying to sound like Susie. Did it work? Did it? It's like she was still here. Oh, today's paper. Good luck then, Runa. I'll do what I can. Hmm? I bet the paper has something on the side, like... Actually, it's totally fine. Shit, how do you... flip, and then... Dang it! Ah! Mola. Chancellor secrets may have been leaked overseas from Ministry of Justice. Okay. That probably wasn't the first three right words, right? Ministry mole? Classified secrets may have been... I bet if I click it, it's just going to tell me that. There's a sensational story lower down the front page as well. Look. Ministry mole? Classified secrets may have been leaked overseas from Ministry of Justice. For a 10-year-old, Iris certainly has her finger on the pulse of world news. It's about secret communications between Great Britain and its allies. How is this not to the top of the page? A pawnbroker died. Is bigger news than Ministry secrets are leaking. Apparently they're being intercepted by hostile nations. Communications are being intercepted, but how would somebody be doing that? It's the question, isn't it? I've come up with 3 different possible methods so far. Are you looking for a new career, Runo? No, of course not. I wonder. Perhaps this is what Lord Strongheart was talking about yesterday. Yes, it could be. And it could explain why he has Gregsy running from pillar to post at the moment. Pawnbroker perishes in pick-purse plunder. How awful. Virginia, I mean. But tomorrow's headline will be Discharged Diver as Dauntless Do-Gooder, right? I'm supposed to read this quite a bit later, and that was supposed to be a fun callback. Yes, something like that. If possible, I'd like to go even bigger. Bigger? How? Proud pickpocket protects planet post-trial? Perhaps? Protects planet? Oh, I can't wait for tomorrow now. It's going to be so great. Obviously, I don't know the law like Susie does, but still. I'll be by your side the whole time, giving you moral support and encouragement. I'm not sure that big thing is as comforting as you think it is, to be honest. But thank you, Iris. That's very kind of you. Oh yeah, Iris. Yes, Ginny. Well, I was wondering is all. About Sholmes. Did they fix him up alright? Yes, the operation was a great success. But, hell, he still hasn't come around yet. Yeah? I've asked a friend of mine at Scotland Yard to send a telegram as soon as he wakes up. I'm sure Gregson will let us know the moment there's news. Oh, right. Necessite-san, and no Mr. Sholmes. It's all down to me today, to prove that Gina is innocent of this crime. Miss Gina Lestrade, counsel for the defense. The trial is about to begin. Please, make your way into the courtroom. It's time then. Yes, let's go, Gina. Iris. Lead the way, Runo. Poor Gina. She's trying to put on a brave face, but I can tell she's worried and scared. I have to believe in her from start to finish. That's the weapon that will secure our victory here. If I learned anything from my great friend, it's that... Oh, it's that. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. This trial shall determine the guilt or innocence of Miss Gina Lestrade. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. Prosecution is ready. The defense is ready. Lord Van Zeeks, my lord. Remind me, how many years ago was it that you withdrew from the Public Prosecution Service? It was some 5 years ago, my lord. Yes, and then 2 months ago you resurfaced somewhat unexpectedly, and here you are again today. Are there some circumstances of which the court should be aware that have led to this erratic behavior? In what one might describe as your former life 5 years past, you dealt exclusively in matters concerned with the highest echelons of society and government. Really? Really? Yet today you choose to try a simple case of burglary and murder. I confess I find it more than a little befuddling, Counsel. There are two types of person I cannot abide. Firstly, those wealthy scoundrels who hide behind a mask of philanthropy to cheat the public at large. He means Mr. McGilded, who you defended against the Reaper 2 months ago. Yes, I just about managed to work that out, thank you. Magnus McGilded. If I'd known what a monster he was, I never would have defended him. And secondly, even more loathsome, those wily scoundrels who masquerade as allies only to effect total betrayal in the final hour. In other words, the confidence tricksters from those tiny islands in the Far East, the Nipponese. Whoa, whoa, hey, what the fuck? What the fuck? Bro, that's kind of racist. What? Did he really just say that? He can't say that. He means you now, Bruno. Thanks. Thanks, Iris. Actually managed to work that one out. Total betrayal? What are you talking about? That torrid look of hatred in Lord Van Zeeks' eyes. Was that directed solely at me? Or was he talking about all Japanese people? An alarmingly scathing explanation, Lord Van Zeeks. Still, the judiciary welcomes the return of the so-called Reaper of the Bailey, feared by all London's malefactors. The Lordship is too kind. Now, jurors, the 6 of you have been selected at random to represent the will of the people in this trial. Not very random. Got one new face? Are you ready to hear? Do they only have like a dozen people in the total juror pool and they just pull the same ones out over and over? Are you ready to hear the evidence placed before you and determine the guilt or innocence of the defendant? Former lieutenant in the British Army here, don't you know? Chaps like me were born ready. Yo, Firefan. Clean crockery, clean cutlery, and a clean conscience. His lordship's motto is very appropriate here, I think. This guy's new. Everything will be stereoscopic in the future. Absolutely, absolutely everything. And I'm ready for it. I don't understand it. I can't have left it in there. It's not possible. Could I have? Women indispensable in society. Stop. Female-centric future awaits. Stop. Good day. I am visiting London for sightseeing. I would like to take bus to Crystal Tower, please. Has it got a tech bro here? An 1800s tech bro? Is something wrong, Bruno? Oh, not exactly. It's just... I'm fairly sure I recognize these jurors. Almost all of them, in fact. Really? Funny coincidences like that do happen from time to time, don't they? It is quite strange. The jurors are chosen at random from London's 6 million inhabitants, you know. So I've been led to believe. But something tells me I'm being duped. Very well. Now, Lord Van Zeeks. Court calls upon the prosecution to introduce the facts of the case. As you wish, my lord. Allow me to begin with a word of warning to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury. In short, there has never been a more self-evident case of cold-blooded murder. Only those two? Interesting. The victim, Mr. Pop Winderbank, proprietor of a pawn shop on Baker Street, was shot from behind and died instantly. Prosecution presents this photographic print of the crime scene. As the court will observe, there is a single bullet wound just below the gentleman's left shoulder. The evidence suggests that the bullet pierced the man's heart, resulting in near instant death. Moving on to the findings of Scotland Yard's coroner. His report states that the bullet entered the body on a rising diagonal trajectory. And what's that supposed to tell us? That the shooter was shooting from below him. It means the victim was likely shot by someone significantly shorter in height than himself. Or by someone shooting from the hip, you don't know. Someone, like the accused, you might say. The prosecution wishes to present the autopsy report and crime scene photograph as evidence, my lord. Indeed, the court accepts. Hand them to the bailiff, please. Autopsy report. Crime scene photograph. Let's have a little look-see at them. Let's have a squiz. Oh, there's so much evidence. I now ask the court to turn its attention to the evidence momentarily ago given. Pop was a pawnbroker. He died between the hours of 1 and 1:30 yesterday morning. I'd seen it, I did. Single bullet wound in upper half of victim's back. No other visible signs of trauma. Instant death from a posterior-anterior bullet wound to the heart. Post? Probably the same as like posterior, right? Maybe? Posterior-anterior. That's a tricky one. The bullet entered the body from the back on a gently rising diagonal trajectory. Yes. Looks right to me. Thing to magnify? Hey! Yeah, is it post or post anterior? From the back towards the front. Yeah. Yeah, I'm in front of the meaning, I just don't know the pronunciation. I feel like we postero-anterior. It could be post, you know? No way to know. Attention to this plan of the establishment where the incident occurred. The proprietor was found in the storeroom where he kept articles pawned to him. A windowless room with a single point of entry, a door to the main shop that was found locked. In this sealed chamber, there were only 2 persons present. The victim, Mr. Winterbank, and the accused. It may further interest the court to know that when the accused was discovered at the scene, she had in her hand the gun used to fire the fatal bullet. Well, that's that then, isn't it? Nothing more to say. Isn't that grubby little girl a pickpocket anyway? She's one of those filthy drabs that live in the slums in the East End. Oh well, it was only a matter of time before she got blood on her hands then. What are the jurors waiting for? The girl's guilty as hell. We can't jump to conclusions here. We mustn't assume her guilt because of what she has to do to survive. Unlearned Dibney's friend. It is you who mustn't jump to conclusions. I could do with some wine. Wine break, pour a glass every time Van Zieks does. That sounds good. I'm going with wine. I have a 2023 Cabernet Sauvignon. And yeah, fun game. Just gotta pour a glass every time Venzeeks does. Oh fuck, spilled it already. It dribbled. Glug, 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 glug. That looks like a normal amount of wine. Lazax. It is you who mustn't jump to conclusions. The prosecution has barely begun presenting its case. Oh. Conveniently, this appalling act of murder did not go unobserved. There were witnesses. Good gracious. Hey, we haven't talked to them yet. After their testimony, this girl's true nature will be exposed. Pitiful pig purse or cold-hearted killer? Now drink. Here's to establishing the truth. Clink. Yum. The court will take the floor plan and firearm into evidence. Hand them to the bailiff, please, Lord Venzeeks. At once, my lord. The crime scene floor plan has been entered into the court record. It shows the relative positions of the main shop and the rear storeroom. Winterbank's revolver has been entered into the court record. There are signs of a single discharge. This isn't good. I feel like the mood in here has turned very gloomy all of a sudden, Runo. I think that's because it has. Let us begin. Bring forth the witnesses to the foul murder of Mr. Pop Winterbank on 16th of April this year. Yesterday. Oh yeah, these are some trustworthy little boys. Some trustworthy young men. Witnesses, state your names and occupations for the court. Name's Nash Stolkin. Occupation is, baddie. Professional baddie. Ooh. Name's Ringo Skulkin. Occupation's, same as him. Got ourselves a couple of baddies. Tobias Gregson, Scotland Yard Inspector. That's right, we're what they call the three Skulkin brothers. Gregson? Strike the pose? What are you looking at me like that for? Don't let me in with you lot. Oh, blimey, that's cold. Don't you know what we're going through? It's our older bruv. Lost contact with him we have, so we're scouring every shady corner of the capital. And then last night, we come across you, the very spit of the bloke. Ain't that right, Ringo? Nash and Ringo. Nash, like, Nashy, like a pear? And then Ringo, okay, yeah, their names mean pear and apple in Japanese. So we can probably take some guesses at what the other brother's name is going to be. If we knew more about Japanese names for fruit, which I do not. These are the two I had. Satsuma? I think that's a type of mandarin. And then last night we come across you, the very spit of the bloke. And they're right, Ringo. He is Nash, he is. The very spit of him. Mango is mango. Alright, now we know. The more you know. Oh, yep, there's their fruits. Oh, they were holding them already, weren't they? Not that impressive anymore. So we decided there and then what we was gonna do. We was gonna call you Big Bruv Sulky. Come on, leave it out, you two. Sulky Skulkin? And that's before he's run out of chips. Well then, Inspector Sulky Gregson. Begging your pardon, my lord, but the name's Tobias. What I would like to know, Inspector, is what you are doing in the witness stand. The Skulkin brothers are currently under arrest, my lord, on suspicion of theft. Thieves, are they, these three? No, my lord. Begging your pardon, but please don't lump me in with this lot. 2 nights ago, these 2 brothers illegally entered an establishment with intent to burgle. And in the course of their nefarious activities, they became embroiled in a far more sinister crime. By Jove! Do you mean to say? What an extraordinary coincidence! Indeed, my lord. While attempting to burglarize the pawnbrokery, they witnessed its proprietor's murder. He's on a box. Order, order. The various trespasses of these brothers is not the subject of today's proceedings, but they will naturally face trial in the very near future. With your lordship's permission, I'd like to remain in the stand to keep these gents on the straight and narrow. Of course, Inspector. Skeptical as I am about the caliber of these witnesses, I will permit them to take the stand. Mr. and Mr. Skulkin, you will now testify before the court. Describe the events of the night in question, and what exactly you saw. Happy to. Apple to. Because the Skulkin's never skulkin'. Get out of it. We was walking down Baker Street in the small hours, and the gaff's door was ajar, see? It was like some kind of sign, begging for us to go in, it was. But once we got inside, God, blimey lummy, we heard a gunshot from the back room. We went to see what was what, but the door was locked from the inside. We never done nothing, Governor. We never took nothing, we just left after that, nice and quiet. A terrible coincidence, it would seem. The precise moment these miscreants entered the property, an even more sinister crime was afoot. The witness's testimony is consistent with the crime scene in every detail. Perhaps even in every detail. The door providing access to the storeroom from the main shop was indeed locked from the inside. And within, only the victim and the accused were found. I must say, it does appear to be an overwhelmingly simple case. Still, the defense may cross-examine the witnesses now, of course. Counsel, if you please. Counsel? Yes. What's the matter, Reno? Sorry, I was just stunned into silence for a minute by the blatant lies being told by that pair in the stand. I know that it's all nonsense, because I saw it with my own eyes. Just have to expose their testimony for the pack of lies it is. Left bumper controller. First time in a court case with a controller. Front door of Winterbanks was ajar, you say? What time of night was this? Must have been about 1, right, Ringo? Yeah, I'd say so. Right, Sulky? How would I know? Place would have been shut at 1 in the morning, just like every other shop in town. Well, it was pitch black inside, that's true. Ain't that right, Ringo? I'm not so sure, Nash. I seem to remember a little light burning inside. What about you, Sulky, me old mucker? Leave me alone. There definitely was a small lamp burning inside. That's what alerted us to the situation in the first place. Yum. And when these gentlemen ventured into the open establishment, the accused, Miss Gina Lestrade, already had the muzzle of her gun trained on the unfortunate victim.
Objection!
That's pure conjecture. Nuh-uh. Ha, perhaps. But it changes nothing. These brothers inadvertently wandered into the middle of a cold-blooded murder. You're throwing a lot of words around. You're just making shit up. Simply because they found the door of the victim's establishment open and ventured inside. Right, that's what happened. No, the fuck it is not. It was like some kind of sign, begging for us to go in, it was.
Hold it!
What are you trying to suggest? That you had to go in? Well, God moves in mysterious ways, they say, don't they, Ringo? They do, Nash, they do. Must have been some sort of providence, I reckon. God's will often presents itself as the whim of thieves, does it? It won't no whim. I'm dead sure of that. It won't, Nash, it won't. Like we said at the time. You don't just find doors open in the middle of the night like that. Nah, there's no two ways about it. It was a sign that our long-lost brother was inside. They're not very good liars, are they? Well, you can't deny it. It led us to a bloke what looks just like our buff. I said cut it out. Those chips are getting a chomping today. But once we got inside, call blimey lummy! We heard a gunshot from the back room.
Hold it!
A gunshot, you say? Just the one. Are you sure about that? Yep, just the one, Governor. I can swear to that. It was, Nash, it was. And they're right, bruv. The firearm used belonged to the victim himself. Yes, Mr. Winterbank always used to leave his gun lying around on the counter. Gone, bot. Right, I remember. When we examined it, we found the revolver was completely out of rounds. That makes sense. Mr. Winterbank always used to say he only ever kept a single bullet loaded. That's true. I remember him saying that as well. I do remember him saying that. I remember him saying that as well. So we can say with considerable certainty that only a single round was discharged from the firearm used as the murder weapon. Not necessarily. Yes, my lord, we can. No, never mind, we can. And I should remind the court that the firearm in question was discovered in the hand of the accused. Wonderful. We went to see what was what, but the door was locked from the inside. Do you mean the door between the main shop and the storeroom? If my learned friend is having difficulty grasping the situation, perhaps a drawing would help. I've seen it. Excluding the shop's entrance from the street, there is only one other door. That is the storeroom. Of course, there was only a little oil lamp burning, not much else to see by. The door was hidden behind a curtain and all. That's right. When we arrived, the door was mostly obscured by the curtain. Tell me, why exactly did you try to open that door? Eh? Any normal petty thief would run at the sound of a gunshot, I should think. Oh, well, your turn to rabbit, Ringo. Well, Nash, yeah. I suppose you'd have to say we ain't normal, eh? Broadly speaking, humans respond in one of two ways on hearing a gunshot or a scream. The timid flee, gripped by fear, while the courageous investigate to see if they might help. These gentlemen are of the latter inclination. My learned Nipponese friend, it would seem, is of the former. Meowdy last, literally I ran in to try to help. I don't remember if I heard the gunshot though. Is that what made us go down there? I don't know. Alright, somehow I proved that I was a coward that night. Thank you, counsels. So I believe we all understand that the door was locked and could not be opened. Proceed, witnesses. We never done nothing, Governor. We never took nothing. We just left after that. Nice and quiet.
Hold it!
You didn't do or take anything? Is that your story? Well, it was bedlam soon as, weren't it? Have we figured out the mystery of the doggo? Is it actually just Lich making noises every time Van Zieks does anything? I'm pouring myself a glass of wine every time he does. In solidarity. It was, Nash, it was. Didn't even have time to pull me dukes out me Lucy lockets. So with no time to take your hands out of your pockets, you just left, nice and quietly, you say? That's right, Governor. Nothing we ain't more than violence. Peace-loving nibblers we are, not bludgers. We are, Nash, we are. Never even pulled me dukes out my Lucy lockets. So you'd clearly like us to believe. Hey, come again? As you fled from the pawnbrokers that night, did you not run into anyone else? And did you not fire a gun at that person? Oh yeah! That's why Sholmes is in the hospital. Saints alive, they fired a gun, you say? Ah! Blimey, Governor! You ain't telling us it was you in the doorway. It was. Why the bleeding Nora? Didn't you mention that before? You were armed with a gun, and as you fled the scene, you fired that gun at London's greatest detective, Sherlock Sholmes. They shot the great Mr. Sholmes? I did hear that, actually. There was a rumor he'd been rushed to hospital. Great Sholmes? That's beyond the pale. On the night in question, this pair were arrested by the police within minutes of the discovery of the crime scene. Their suspicious countenance rapidly gave them away. Hee-hee! Ho-ho! Ha-ha! And when searched, a firearm was indeed found in their possession. Furthermore, the barrel shows signs of a shot having been fired from it. The prosecution invites his lordship to examine the firearm recovered from these brothers. Yes, indeed. Remnants of powder around the muzzle, as you say, Counsel. The court will hold this weapon as evidence. The Skulkin brothers' gun has been entered into the court record. There are signs that a single round was fired. Oh, fuck. I haven't finished the first one, Van Zieks. Woo! Chug, chug, chug. Maybe we should do, like, half glasses. Now, my learned Nipponese friend. 2 glasses. I hope he doesn't go absolutely nuts this court case, and just fucking pour bottle after bottle. Yum. Yes? Here's to you successfully presenting the evidence. For yes, there are the telltale signs of spent powder in this gun, and a single bullet missing from the cylinder. But the prosecution demands evidence that it was fired at the scene of the crime under scrutiny in this trial.
Objection!
I saw it! Well, I don't need evidence. You do, my boy. Because I was there.
Objection!
However, the rest of us in this courtroom were not. If the defense fails to provide evidence in support of its rash claim, we shall have no choice but to toast your incompetence and move on. Evidence that these two fired that gun before they left Winterbanks that night. The court demands that all claims are affirmed with clear proof. What evidence shows that these witnesses unloaded a firearm in the pawnbroker's shop that night? Probably the boy got shot. Which I don't have. Alright, what do we got? Pawnbroker's ticket? No. Cheater's representation? No. Blood samples? Maybe. Hey, check this out. Mr. Sholmes got shot. That's probably a pretty good one to go for. Because this would be Sholmes. Oh, yeah. That picture also pretty helpful. Here we go. Here's the bullet in the wall. The evidence is in this portfolio. What on earth have you there, Counsel? During the course of our investigations, we discovered a number of bloodstains. Not trusting the police to do the job they're trained to do? How arrogantly Nipponese of you. Okay, so he's come out of retirement to be racist. Because he's only been on my cases. Get off my case, dude. Well, anyway, we analysed all the blood samples we found and recorded the results in this portfolio. And you claim to have the evidence the court is demanding therein? Yes, my lord. And more dallying then, Counsel. Present the pertinent evidence at once. What do you have in your portfolio that proves these witnesses unloaded a firearm at the scene? It's the one.
Take that!
What is that? Explain. It's a photographic print taken at Winterbanks' pawnbrokery on the day of the incident. Just Winterbanks. I keep saying Winterbanks'. Too many S's. From the scene of the crime, is it? Is that a bullet hole? And if my eyes do not deceive me, it appears the bullet is still lodged in there. Yes, as your lordship noticed, the bullet pierced Mr. Winbanks' calendar. The date shown being the 16th of April, the very day of the pawnbroker's death. The incident occurred at 1 hour after midnight, but this indicates that a separate shot had been fired, sometime after the calendar had been set to the 16th. That's right, and while it isn't irrefutable, the defense believes this is credible evidence that the witnesses did fire a round from their gun at the pawnbrokers that night. Nah! Order! How does the prosecution stand, Lord Bramsix? On his legs. Take a sip. Ooh, yum. 2 sips. If that is the direction my learned friend wishes to take, the prosecution has no objection. What? Now, I'm not copying that. Least of all, because I don't have a candlestick behind me. But you'll forgive me for flinging my hallowed chalice aside in disgust at the repugnancy it exposes. Yes, on the night in question, these brothers entered the pawnbrokery illegally. Actually, you know what? When he throws the glass away, that's probably scull the rest of the drink. Yum. On the night in question, these brothers entered the pawnbrokery illegally. And like the bold baddies they claimed to be, opened fire on the new arrivals before fleeing back onto the street. Yeah? Take it easy there, Governor. You're gonna land us in the soup. We had a deal. You weren't gonna get into them details. Bubbler's gonna come home to find me white girl wasted. She is. I'm feeling it, Mr. Krabs. Tell him, Sulky, set the bloke straight. I have nothing to add. So he knew, did he? Van Zeeks knew their testimony would almost certainly expose the extent of their crimes. It would seem now that I owe my learned Nipponese friend a word of gratitude. What do you mean? What you mean? What I mean is that you have helpfully confirmed an important fact. To what fact do you refer, Lord Van Zeeks? As has been established, at the point of their arrest, a single shot had been fired from the brothers' gun. However, if that shot had found its target in Mr. Sholmes, then clearly, these witnesses cannot be accused of the fatal shooting of the proprietor and victim. Do we know if the shot went through Sholmes? Because that bullet's in the wall. If there's also a bullet in Sholmes, then that's kind of sus. Ah! closed off some bullshit I could have made up. In other words, these two men have no material connection to the murder of Mr. Winterbank at all. So that's it. That's it! We didn't have nothing to do with it. We didn't, Nash, we didn't. That's what I reckon. Your crimes include unlawful entry, intent to steal, perjury, and, let us not forget, attempted murder. Quite a catalogue, eh, fellas? Ah! In for it now, bruv. Now then. Let us take a moment to consider the aforementioned great detective, Mr. Sherlock Holmes. It would seem the man patronized the pawnbrokers in question somewhat regularly. Where's he going with this? Mr. Sholmes appears to take pleasure in tinkering with eccentric machinery. Eccentric? Says who? Not me. Don't give me that look. Not me. Don't give me that look. Don't give me that look. He installed a pair of machines like this one in the victim's shop. Oh! That's one of Hurley's red-handed recorders. What is that, Counsel? It has the appearance of a photographic contraption. As your lordship has surmised, it is indeed a camera attached to a small timing device. Every half an hour, it automatically photographs the interior of the establishment. The idea being that if a thief were to break into the shop, he would be caught red-handed. Prosecution has obtained the photographs taken by the device on the night in question. It's a fat stack. As the court will observe, copious identical prints are produced in a quality quite desultory fashion. Rather prodigal, I feel. In fact, there are 2 such devices in the victim's shop, my lord. If I may refer to the court to the plan of the premises, the respective positions are here and here. You say these cameras produce a print every half hour. I'm afraid I fail to see. It would help if the anticipated thief conducted his activities in one of the many 30-minute intervals. One can only pray that the would-be criminal lingers, my lord. On the night in question, the witnesses currently in the stand were not caught on camera. Yeah, that's a bit of fried duck, eh, bruv? Lady loves a skulking. Just fucking celebrate on the stand. Witnesses, at what time did your trespassing begin? Must have been just after 1. Right, bruv? Must have been, Nash, must have been. Yeah, just gone 1. In which case, minutes before these brothers entered the establishment. What scene might we expect to see within the shop? What scene might we expect to see within the shop? Let us examine the evidence. Oh my. That's not helping my case. Good lord. It's the defendant. Miss Gina Lestrade.
It's the boy.
It's the boss.
It's the boss.
Fuck him on bubble.
Boss.
He's already done the leg thing.
Damn
No,
it.
has he? No, he did the glass toss. As the court can clearly see.
When do you mean Bubble's gonna come home to find your white girl wasted?
Every
What does that
time
mean?
Van Zeeks pours a glass of wine, I'm pouring a glass of wine. We're 2 down.
Jesus Christ.
We're playing a dangerous game.
Oh no.
That says hi.
Hi.
The accused is pictured, gun in hand, facing the victim over the shop counter. No doubt coercing the proprietor to open the door to his storeroom. Quite. One can only too easily imagine the events that unfolded. The court will take this photographic print as evidence, if you please, counsel. And the rest of them. Red-handed recorder showing the scene before the murder. Ah. I don't believe it. Ginny. In short, the accused is the only person who could possibly have killed Mr. Winterbank. Ah! Critical hit. I'd say, my lord. Wonder if I might put in a word at this point. Go ahead, Mr. Foreman. Took a bally bullet to the knee in the Battle of my Wand. 1880, don't you know? Decorated for it and all that, but forced to retire from service, sadly. Okay, so we're like early 1900s. Of course, a medal can never outshine the exploits of traps like us in the battlefield. Yes, Mr. Foreman, and what exactly is your point? Carried on the battle after retirement, you see? The battle of daily life, if you like. And here I am now, leading this small squadron. 6 men, all good and true. And we'll all go down together, you mark my words. One for all and all for one. Oh, fuck me. Class number 3. Yep, we're going again.
On average, how often does he pull the glass?
More often than I remembered. You know, I remember it being, you know, every now and then.
Then I got white girl wasted.
You white girl wasted.
Oh no! I kind of fucked you up. That's
It's a strong one.
Yeah.
Hey, Capsav, how many? 8.6 in the bottle?
Sorry?
The bottle is 8.6 standard.
Oh god, you're dying.
I'm fine.
You're fucking dead, dude.
I got a high limit.
Okay.
I got a tolerance.
Okay.
The ladies and gentlemen of the jury have reached agreement, have they? Is that what we are to understand? Well, Mr. Foreman, is that correct? In a manner of speaking, yes. That is the Garadev Squadron's position, sir. What? No, it's too soon to make a judgment here. Status support for the court, men, on the double. His lordship insists on promptitude at all times. And that goes for making decisions too. I think you'll find the truth is as clear as day now. I could reach out and touch it. I wouldn't have left it in there. I just wouldn't. But in all honesty, I can't actually remember. Situation clear, stop. No room for doubt, stop. Truth now undeniable, stop. I am really sorry for brothers. They are unlucky. Very well. I now call upon each member of the jury to state his or her leaning in this matter. Announce your considered verdicts to the court.
Guilty.
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 Would you guys stop with this every time? All of you have been jurors before. It does indeed appear that the jury is unanimous in its leaning already. That photograph. It must be the definitive evidence that Gregson mentioned. But Ginny didn't shoot him. No, of course not. My lord, the defense wishes to assert its right to a summation examination. Very well. The court grants permission. So, you refuse to admit defeat again. How unsurprising. We shall proceed immediately with the summation examination. Mr. Foreman, are all members of the jury ready? So, absolutely, sir. Always ready for action, my chaps. Very good. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will each explain on what grounds you have determined the defendant to be guilty. All the evidence clearly points the finger of guilt at this young pickpocketian. As a housemaid, I should like to see all filthy eyesores promptly and vigorously eliminated. Okay, so classism. I think you'll find that if you look at that photograph in stereo, the truth will just pop out. That's probably true. Let's look at the second photograph. If I have left it in there, I should think there'll be repercussions by now. Why do they keep bringing this old man back? He's not paying attention. Mind made up, stop. Global radio transmission of verdict to follow, stop. Nice rat! Ah, she's busy. In motherland, we never judge by clothes, judge by head. I am convinced brothers are innocent. Not relevant. Circumstances of the crime and the evidence do indeed implicate the defendant rather comprehensively. The storeroom, locked from the inside, in which the victim and the accused were discovered alone. And in the accused's hand, the fatal revolver, the firing of which was heard by these witnesses. Not to mention this print! Take it from a chap who's seen action on the battlefield. That young girl's on the verge of pulling the bally trigger. Does seem that way, doesn't it? Thanks a lot, Mr. Sholmes. Oh dear, Hurley's cameras were supposed to help, not hinder. I'm afraid I think you have an uphill struggle ahead of you. But Gina didn't shoot Mr. Winterbank. Which means there's more to this situation than we've yet to see. Agreed. You have the floor, Counsel. Proceed with the summation examination. And the Shoulder Brothers too short. All the evidence clearly points the finger of guilt at this young pickpocket Yan.
Hold it!
Nah. You're Mr. Natsume's landlord, Mr. Garrett, aren't you? We really must stop eating like this. Ah, you're that lawyer chap. Well, there's a turn up for the books. Yes, rather a turbulent time we had back then. Some extraordinary events took place at your house, that's for sure. Luckily, Mr. Sholmes and I were able to get to the bottom of it all. I think we did rather a lot for you, didn't we? We helped you out, come on, give me not guilty, come on. I mean, obviously, I wouldn't be suggesting that therefore you should change your leaning to not guilty or anything, come on. Can't be denied, I suppose. The curse of the Garrido house was the talk of the town after that business. Lodgers moved out, and I couldn't get a bally soul to take up the tenancies. Oh. Haven't had the heart to break the news to Joni yet. Bad enough the old girl's clapped up. Yes, can't be denied. You did do rather a lot. But for us, that's for dash certain. I suppose not. Of course. There can be no suggestion of that being the reason I'm leaning towards guilty here, obviously. You fucking rat moon-faced bastard. Obviously, but honestly, I really wish you'd paid more attention to the trial, and less to juror number 2. Whoa! My man, you're Mauied! As a housemaid, I should like to see all filthy eyesore promptly and rigorously eliminated. I've got a filthy eyesore if you promptly and rigorously eliminate.
Hold it!
Juror number 1. Get him out of here. Hoisting the bench, I see. Again. The maid's work is never done. Not a blemish must remain. What exactly do you mean by filthy eyesores? On my way to market for his lordship, I have to pass through the East End. Place is full of beggars, pickpurses and crossmen. Scum of the earth. A little harsh, perhaps? Let me be plain. If it were up to me, all those back slums would be made spick and span, or eradicated. At least we have people like the great detective working to achieve these important goals. You're referring to Mr. Herlock Sholmes? That's right. I like to keep abreast of his exploits by reading Ransk magazine in between my duties. He does wonders cleaning up London streets. In my onion, he should be declared an honorary maid of the capital. I agree, he should be made an honorary maid of the capital. Mr. Sholmes, a maid? He should be made to wear the uniform. Hey, it's really quite unforgivable. Gutter scum having the audacity to shoot our very greatest detective. She didn't. These guys did. Minor detail, it was the two brothers in the stand who shot Mr. Holmes, not the defendant. Sorry, Sholmes, completely different man. A minor detail indeed. They're all gutter scum as far as I'm concerned. Well, it just might be an idea to get our facts straight anyway. Yes, alright. I shall amend my statement. Those brothers are the scum of the earth. They should swing for shooting the great detective.
Hold it!
Follow up on that? No. Agree is a strong term. She's saying some whack shit. The shooting of Mr. Sholmes wasn't unforgivable act. But the purpose of this trial is to determine who shot the pawnbroker, Mr. Winterbank. I'm afraid you're splitting hairs, sir. Sorry? Whether it was the thieves or the pig purse, it was still gutter trash that shot the pawnbroker in the end. Filth that should be cleaned up and eradicated, in my considered opinion. Why the fuck are you allowed to be a juror? Thanks so much for sharing. Changing this maid's mind isn't going to be easy. Bruno, it was one of those two brothers that shot Hurley, wasn't it? Yes, without question. Yes, without question. Yes. Well then, I'll never forgive them. Oh, Iris. Perhaps we can use this maid's statement to help us somehow, do you think? Yes, maybe. Let's listen carefully to what each juror has to say first. The old man's not going to be relevant. Oh, I left a tool in the guy. I think you'll find that if you look at that photograph in stereo, the truth will just pop out.
Hold it!
What do you mean, look at the photograph in stereo? Sorry, what? Don't you know? If you look at the photographic print normally, it looks as though the pickpocket girl is about to shoot the victim, obviously.
Objection!
But there's no indication that the defendant ever fired the gun. All I'm saying is that if you look at the same print in stereo, it could reveal all sorts of new information. By any chance, are you a fan of stereoscopes? Ooh! How did you know? Let's call it a lucky guess. It never gets old, seeing the two prints merge into one before your eyes. It's extraordinary. It's captivating. It's the height of modernity. Of course. Oh yes, I think you'll find that the stereoscope is here to stay. It's not. Giving us new perspectives we could only dream of before. It's the greatest invention the world has ever seen. It's a fad. If only it could give me a new perspective on this case, I might agree with you. If I have flashed it in there, I should think there'll be repercussions by now.
Hold it!
What are you talking about, my man? What exactly have you been writing about all this time, sir? Is this the surgeon who just operated in Sholmes? You keep talking about having left something somewhere or something like that. Oh, so sorry. As you can probably tell, I'm a surgeon. A surgeon? That totally passed me by. Of course, people conducting surgery at... Nope, can't maintain that voice. Of course, people conducting surgery in this country aren't considered to be doctors. Oh no. Even though me and my kind are at the forefront of medical science, the real brains in the field. So, what is it that you think you've left behind? Ah, well, that's a little embarrassing, to be honest. You see, I was operating on someone yesterday. Standard thing, went in through the abdomen. But when I finished the procedure, I couldn't find my scalpel anywhere. What? Surely not. Exactly. Surely not, you say to yourself, don't you? Worrying, isn't it? That's what's been troubling me this whole time. Could I really have left my scalpel inside the fellow's belly? No, of course I couldn't. So, there you have it. Like I said, a little embarrassing, really. That's one way of putting it. The other is manslaughter. Manslaughter, more like. Ha 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 ha. That's exactly my concern. And seeing as this case appears to be all but sewn up, I need to focus on trying to remember exactly what I've sewn up elsewhere. Now, I'm sure I made sure everything was back as it should be. Well, as sure as you can be without being sure. I'm sure you need to be more sure. Mind made up. Stop. Global radio transmission. A verdict to follow. Stop.
Hold it!
Sorry, radio transmission? What do you mean? Are you from the Far East? Stop. Yes, from the Empire of Japan. All communication with Far Eastern nations used to take place by mail. Royal Mail steamers take more than a month to complete the journey. But now we have the electric telegram, so we can send messages using electrical signals. Thousands of miles of cables have been laid along the ocean beds connecting the entire world. Is that true? Has that already happened in 1900-something? Thousands of miles of cable on the ocean bed? Makes my head hurt just thinking about it. You are well informed, young lady. Stop. Cables will soon become a thing of the past. Stop. Just when I was starting to catch up. Radio transmission of the future. Stop. Messages carried over airwaves to 4 corners of globe. Stop. Excitement growing. Stop. Atmosphere electric. Stop. Right. Just try not to wear out your fingers. Era of wireless telegraphy. Stop. Driving technological revolution. Stop. And people say inventions like the stereoscope are the high technology. What out of piffle? Oh, do I have to make him fight? I can't understand it. I really can't. Silly toys. Oh yeah, dude?
Excuse me.
Got something to say about that? Zero number 3. Sorry to interrupt when you're obviously fuming, but... What? Do you perhaps have something to say about Juror number 5's last remark? As if I couldn't guess. Oh, you bet I do. Say that again. Go on. I dare you. Goodness, are you talking to me? I think you just might be, yes. You think stereoscopes are just toys, do you, huh? Absolutely. I mean, really. A machine to view photographs in 3 dimensions. Why on earth would you not just use your eyes to look at the world around you? It's all 3-dimensional. What a great way to appease the man. No, I'm sorry. Stereoscopes are of no practical use at all. You just don't know. Pardon? I think you'll find that viewing a photograph through a stereoscope can unlock all sorts of possibilities. I'm obviously going to have to demonstrate. What sort of possibilities? Well, take a crime scene, for example. If you had a pair of photographs from a crime scene that you could view as a stereoscope, it could reveal hidden clues you'd never even noticed before. Yes, I know. Give us the photograph. Have you got any, Bruno? Any prints we could look at with the stereoscope? I'm pretty sure I do. I don't. But I'll say I do, because maybe we do. How about this print here? It should do the trick, I think. This one?
Take that!
Yeah? Alright then, jury number 3. Are you saying you can do this with any 2 suitable photographic prints? Of course I can. Very well then. I'd like you to demonstrate. Okay, yeah, we do have access to the other photograph because the second... Whoops. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I don't have the other one yet. Oh, okay, no, we'll use those prints. I guess, maybe. Maybe? This paper, blah blah blah. We've got like the stack of photos. I suppose this happens to be... Nope. Alright. Can I just say this? Same way? Wait, sorry? What do you mean, one more print? Oh dear, oh dear. Don't you have these in the Far East? Don't you know how a stereoscope works? Bruno. What? You need 2 photographs for a stereoscope, remember? You know, one for the left eye and one for the right. Oh yes, I remember now. But the print we have from the pawnbrokery is just a normal photograph. No, I think you'll find that the clue is in the name. It's a stereoscope, not a monoscope. You always need 2 prints. Thanks for the friendly explanation. Well, if we obtain another print at some point later in the trial, we can always show it to this young man then. Ha ha ha! I think you'll find that know-it-all expression is really starting to ignore me. Fancy, give me the picture! Well, let's get things back on track, shall we, Council? Wait, I'm waiting. What you got, lass? Yeah, but I don't know if that's going to help. I mean, it might help with this exact situation. So we can try the same thing again. Maybe if we... We can't present at this point. Yeah, the tickets have the cats on the back. That doesn't help with the crime scene, though. Okay, we'll try this again.
Hold it!
Telegram. Cables. Well informed. Yay! Think of the past. Radio transmission. Radio transmission. It's so nice. It's cool. And then try this again.
Excuse me.
Wait a minute. Goodness, are you talking to me? Might be. Toys, huh? Yes. The whole world's three-dimensional. Nope, no use. You go, what do you know? Possibilities. Well, take a crime scene. Hidden clues.
Take that!
Yeah, no, okay, it doesn't work. What, really? Oh dear. I think maybe I need to have a stereoscopic look at your brain sometime. What's that supposed to mean? It's fine, yeah, we'll come across the other picture somehow. Like, obviously, the other... You want to pull up the 3D kitty again? I don't know if we're going to be able to do that. And also, I couldn't get it to work. It's hard. Maybe if I had it on my phone instead, but up against the screen, couldn't get it to get the right distance. In Motherland, we say never judge by clothes, judge by head. I am convinced brothers are innocent.
Hold it!
What have they got to do with it? Please tell me you're not VLN Bolshevik. The Russian revolutionary. Revolutionary? Duh. I believe there is such a rumor. It's just a rumor. As you'll see, I have unfortunate appearance. I look like a vicious criminal. Your words, not mine. Just want to point that out. People call me revolutionary, murderer, autocrat. Which glove fits? Good day. I am visiting London for sightseeing. I would like to take bus to Crystal Tower, please. I love his rat. Right, that didn't sound staged at all. You'll forgive me for having my doubts. To be treated like a vicious criminal all the time, it is very painful. People do not realize. So I have much sympathies for these brothers. People say they are criminals only because of how they look, and the crimes they do. Also that. Scotland brothers. Da. Maybe they went inside pawnbroker's shop, but they have done nothing wrong. That is all what I want to say. The Skulkin brothers did nothing wrong that night. Shot Sholmes! But they didn't shoot the deputy. Alright, well, first of all, I like the way you move. That's one not so little misunderstanding, only to clear up straight away. Tell me something, Iris. What is it, Bruno? The jurors are chosen at random from the inhabitants of London town, aren't they? Yes. Yes. It's amazing, isn't it? In that case, how is it that the Russian tourist sitting among them who looks for all the world like a revolutionary? I wish I knew. If I can't change the minds of more than half of these 6 jurors, the trial will be over. But we know that Ginny would never shoot anyone. Yes, so we need to find contradictions in what these jurors are saying and pit them against each other. I must be ready to go to whatever lengths I have to convince them of Gina's innocence. Alrighty then, what do we got? Evidence points at this one. Brothers of scum. I guess... have these two fight? They just both hate the brothers? And see what happens?
Objection!
Those two statements clearly contradict each other. Good lord. Counsel, explain yourself. Oh my statement? Contradictory? Contradict. C-O-N... Juror number 6, you've got the wrong end of the stick. I do not have stick, I have mouse. That's a good joke. As juror number 2 said earlier, when the Skulkin brothers fled the scene on the night in question, they fired a shot from their revolver. Yes, they shot poor Mr. Sholmes in the abdomen, I understand. Surely you're not going to tell the court now that you didn't hear? Is this the 3rd Skulkin brother? Is this Sulky? Abdomen. A, B, D. Sir? Sorry. My English is still learning. You are telling the court you didn't hear? Forgive me, I did not hear. Here is word. Abdomen. Part of person's body containing stomach and other vital organs. If this is what you mean, you should say in plain English. I am Russian, not native speaker. We thought it was a good idea to let this man be on the jury again. So, you are telling me these brothers who look like criminals were lying? As I said before, we never done nothing, but truth is, they shot detective. This is double negative. Yes, that's exactly right. Lying is wrong, especially when lie is said by a person who looks like a criminal. Coming from you, that seems surprisingly prejudiced. This means when they said we never took nothing, maybe it was also a big fat lie. Is this true? Well, according to the police report, no stolen goods were found, so... Enough. I talk to no one now. It's not the mouse's fault though, so... I must see with my own eyes. I must investigate crime scene myself. I'm afraid that won't be possible. Yes it is, Bruno. Easily. Sorry? Is it? We can just leave? Oh, right, with the prints. If you compare the print that captures Ginny, the picture's Ginny, and the next print from half an hour later, you'll be able to see straight away if anything was taken or not. Cooey! Cooey, Mr. Prosecutor! I'm Cooey. Calling on the prosecution in the middle of a summation examination of all times. The proof showing the accused threatening the victim after she broke into the shop is this one. Following this, the victim and the accused moved into the storeroom. Meanwhile, the Skulkin brothers entered the shop and summarily heard the fatal gunshot ring out. Sadly, none of these events were captured on film. This is the print produced by the camera half an hour later, after the brothers' flight. So this was taken after Hurley was shot then? As far as I can tell, nothing has been taken. It does seem to be the case. Can't notice anything that's obviously missing in the second print. So, the brothers who look like criminals told only one lie. They shot man, but they stole nothing. It would seem so, yes. Good. No, not good. You were right. I did not understand the situation. Now I know brothers have lied. I think it is very important to continue with trial. Yay! Huzzah! Well done, Runo. The balance is shifting. Well, it's a start, I suppose. But there must be more in what these jurors are saying that I can use to expose the truth. And if I can do that, we just might turn the situation to our favor still. Thank you, Counsel. Continue with the summation examination. And kindly hand that new photographic print to the bailiff to be filed as evidence. Ah, lovely. Now we have 2 photographs. Another print in the court record. I wonder if we can make use of that. Now I gotta go through the whole fucking conversation again. In Lake of Lies are many dead fish. We must find truth. Therefore I say, not guilty verdict. Alright. Here we go again. Radio. Radio. Electric. Cables. Radio. Radio. Exciting. Radio. Technological. Stereoscope for dummies.
Excuse me.
Pursue. Pursuant to that shit you just said. You bet I do. Say it again. I double dog dare you. Toys, huh? Yes. Fight me. Let's just pick this one. Is that gonna work?
Take that!
Check out this photograph I've got. Alright then, juror number 3. Are you saying you can do this with any 2 suitable photographic prints? Of course I can. Very well, I'd like you to demonstrate. I'll be delighted to. Just give me one more print and I'll amaze you all. Dang it.
Take that!
Please enter. Alright, these 2 prints were both taken with the same camera in Winterbanks on the night in question. Yes, I see. Tell me, Mr. Lawyer. Do you know how stereographic images work? Do you understand the principle? Well, I think so. I did have a lesson only yesterday. There you go, lass. Kitty. Let's try and get this to work. While nudging our mouse. How fucking close do you need to be? Oh, that kind of hurts. Alright, I could kind of see it. But yeah, then I can't focus on it. Alas. I was just gonna do it for us, make a 3D image? God damn it. Then, when your brain merges the two images together inside your head, it notices the shift as if it was depth. Yes, exactly. It's that small shift between certain objects in the two pictures that's really important. So, what happens if you use two photographs that are exactly the same then? No, obviously that wouldn't work at all. Not for seeing the scene three-dimensionally anyway. Oh. Ooh! Of course! Now I see! Ah, I think the young girl has discovered the secret! I have! Can you uncross your eyes before you tell me? Have another look at these two pictures from Hurley's camera, Reno. Go on! Alrighty, can you see there's really obvious difference between them? I'm only seeing the lamp being smashed, which is probably enough. Of course there is. There are two people in the first and no people in the second. Well, yes, you can see that straight away. But now, try looking at the pictures in 3 dimensions. He's getting real up close and crossing my eyes. Maybe not up close, maybe far away? No, I can see shit. All if I just press next screen, it's gonna fucking combine them for me, isn't it? Oh, it's not. Alright, I'll give it a go. So, to start with, you have to cross your eyes, and then try to make the two pictures overlap exactly. Let's see if by crossing my eyes, I can make the quill pens from each picture overlap in the middle. Wait. Well, did you manage to see it properly, Bruno? No. Give me a hint. I'm just not very good at this, that's the trouble. Oh, don't worry, I have just the thing. Did you bring a stereoscope? Yes, you did. I happen to bring with me a portable stereoscope. You had this the whole time? I know I mentioned this yesterday, but if you had that in conjunction with you from the outset, you could have saved me staring at Mr. Winterbank and Gina like I hate them all that time. And if you remember, I said in reply that it's much more satisfying to be able to see the effect with your own eyes. Anyway, why don't we try using this helpful little aid now? Greetings, Paramithian. Here goes. Ah! Just that part. Now, let's see what we've got. Wait, look at that! What's going on with these two pictures? Some of the things on the counter sort of jump out at you. Yes! That's it, you see? That's the other amazing power of stereoscopes. Other amazing power? Is someone going to explain this black magic, eh? Why the deuce do some of the things on the counter seem to jump out at you like that, I think you'll find that if you consider the basic principle of the stereoscope, you'll answer your own question. Basic principles of the stereoscope? As I said before, if you try to look at two identical pictures using a stereoscope, it won't work at all. It's a slight shift in the positions of certain objects that lets you see the pictures three-dimensionally. In other words, even though at first glance it seems the objects on the counter haven't moved at all between the two pictures. They'll get shifted a bit. Yes, they're all slightly further to the right. A couple of centimeters. This shows that actually, there must have been a slight shift in their positions. Yes, there must have been. Now hold fire there, sir! Got a reasonable grasp of this whole cross-eyed business now, I'd say. Why the devil does this shift between the two prints exist in the first place? Well, what's the answer, fellow? Come on, you're the cross-eyed master. Me? No, the other guy, jury number 3. What, me? I haven't faced that idea. You know, Runo, it's quite simple. It is? Just think it through step by step. The first photograph was taken at 1 AM. Then 30 minutes later, the second photograph was taken. The second photograph was taken. Everything on the counter was pushed slightly further away from probably the way the door would open. Unless it opens inwards. But the position of some items on the counter appears to have shifted slightly in the interim. Ow! So that means that sometime in the half-hour interval, someone must have tampered with the things on the counter. Zookas! Someone tampered? New information, stop! Not mentioned in testimony so far, stop! Yes. We've had to go around in circles a little here, it seems. But I'm starting to see what I should be aiming at in this summation examination now. Ladies and gentlemen, the question now is clear. We know the items on the countertop were moved. But by whom? Are you suggesting that you might know? Of course. I can tell you right now who is responsible for the almost imperceptible shift in the items on the counter. Can I? Huh? Is it one of the professional baddies? Or one of these two fucking open the door and move the thing? I don't fucking know. Broke into the thing. Broke into the thing, there's no difference between them. Ringo did it? Yes? Everything moved very slightly further away from the door. But the curtain was in the way and that didn't move. So it probably opens inwards. Or out from our perspective of the room we're in. And that isn't the reason? Them naughty boys are what done it. Maybe? It was the witnesses currently in the stand, the Skulkin brothers. Wait, this does not agree with what brothers said in testimony before. They said they did not even have time to pull dukes from Lucy Lockets. My phrase book says dukes is meaning hands and Lucy Lockets is meaning pockets. It's poor rat. But is this another lie? Is this what you are saying? Yes, I'm afraid so. Now hold on there a minute. You can't be so sure of that. The accused is a common pickpurse after all. It's perfectly possible that she went through the things on the desk to see what she might steal. I think that's unlikely. And why exactly? As you can see from this photographic print, the defendant was pointing a gun at the victim. It would seem, as my learned friend indicated, that she was coercing Mr. Winterbeck to open the storeroom door. In other words, Miss Lestrade's interests lay within the storeroom, not in the main shop, giving her no reason to touch anything on the counter. All of which points to one thing. Skulkin brothers have omitted key facts in their testimony. But the accused is a pickpurse, common gutter trash. Why look any further for the wrongdoer here? Because the Skulkin brothers are thieves, madam. No better, in fact worse, than a pickpurse. I believe these brothers were looking for something on the victim's counter that night. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, if you would condemn the defendant on the grounds that she's a pickpocket, would not at least be right and proper to thoroughly scrutinize testimony given against her by two thieves? Well said. I, for one, would like to hear more from that shady pair. Can you all see now? I think you'll find stereoscopes aren't playthings. You've seen their extraordinary potential firsthand. Hardly agree. Stop. Must purchase after trial. Stop. Will return home via Regent Street. Stop. Well, it would seem this trial has yet to run its course. The ladies and gentlemen of the jury have declared their inclinations via the mighty scales of justice. Hereby call this summation examination to conclusion with the balance altered in the defendant's favor. 2 lean to guilty, 4 lean to not guilty. Accordingly, the jury is without consensus. I order this trial to continue. Yay! Well done. Oh, by the way. What? You should hold on to this, Runo. You never know when it might come in useful. Twice in one trial would be unusual, surely. The stereoscope has been entered into the court record. Lord Van Zeeks, you will instruct the witnesses that the court demands additional testimony from them. Drink time. I'm sure it won't spoil the bouquet to do so, my lord. I've won myself another chance to probe that pair about their activities that night at least. Probe that pair? Just the pair, not the apple as well? And I won't stop... Whoa! I won't stop probing them until I've proven that Gina is innocent. You boys are in for a lot of probing. I think I will allow sex-based terms in this chat. It is time to probe the Blowjob Brothers. Order, please. Let us resume proceedings. Witnesses, you will now retake the stand. This always feels like a RuneScape song. I presume you heard the Defense Counsel's summation examination? Oh, yeah, Governor. I did, Gov, I did. Mr. and Mr. Skulkin. Oh, blimey! This is going to be hard work. Earlier in this trial, you gave the following testimony about your actions after you entered Winterbanks. Well, it was Bedlam soon as, wasn't it? It was, Nash, it was! Didn't even have time to pull me dukes out me Lucy lockets. However, that was a lie. You brothers. Poor blimey. On the night in question, you rifled through the items on the victim's counter. We ain't never done nothing of the sort. How'd you figure that out? Ringo, you're giving the game away. You will now give formal testimony once again. You will tell the court precisely what happened on the night in question. And this time, you will tell the truth. Each lie that passes your lips serves to increase the severity of your punishment. Alright, skull time. This is a good vintage. And that, gentleman, may deal a crushing blow to your chances of ever seeing the light of day again. Thought worth pondering, perhaps. Say no more, Gov, we hear ya. We'll blab, we'll squeak, we'll peach. Just peachy. Whole truth and nothing but the truth. Alright, we did knock a few things over. Oh, we weren't rifling for nothing. It was when we heard the gunshot, see? Made us both jump and all that stuff went flying. Lummy, it didn't half give me a fright. We was thinking the shooter'd come out the door and get us next. We stuck everything back where we found it, scarping, straight into him in the black. We couldn't have shot the pawnbroker, see? We never even had a chance, did we? So you admit to the defence's accusation? You did indeed ransack Mr. Winterbank's countertop on the night in question. Oh, not ransack, Governor, no! No! That's right, Nash, that's right. It's more like we tidied up, yeah. Oh, pardon me. Sorry. By their own admission, these brothers entered the pawnbrokery under dubious circumstances. However, they panicked and fled on hearing the gunshot, having first made good their mess. The way you say it, we hardly sound like roughs at all. We don't, Nash, we don't. Can't you make us sound a bit more cutthroat? Can't just be coincidence that these men showed up at Winterbank's that night. There's more to their testimony than meets the eye. I'm sure of it. Alright, we did knock a few things over, but we weren't rifling for nothing.
Hold it!
If that's the case, then why didn't you testify to that effect in the first place? Well, you know, we ain't exactly squeaky clean, are we? Are we? We ain't, Nash, we ain't. If we admitted to something like that, people would think we was up to no good. Well said, Ringo, me old China. We'd only land ourselves in even more trouble. And in fact, now, as a result of lying in your previous testimony, that's exactly what you've done. Landed yourselves in even more trouble. You're perjurers now. Oh, well, that's rotten luck. Says the rotten apple eater. Witnesses, explain your actions to the court. Why did you ransack the victim's counter? We never ransacked nothing. Right, Nash, right. More like, we tidied the place up. Oh, sorry. It was when we heard the gunshot, see? Made us both jump. And all that stuff went flying.
Hold it!
So what you're saying is that the sound of the gunshot shocked you so much, you knocked all those things off the counter? Well, it shocked one of us that much, yeah. This bag of nerves needs to learn to keep his shirt on. Look, it was loud, alright. Blimey, me dead granny would have woken up at that bang. Big brother here screamed like a bloomin' baby and fell over on the counter. He knocked over a load of books, a candlestick, and some skull whatnot. I got tangled in some marionette, what knocked over a picture frame, what knocked them scales on the floor. You really must be working quietly then. What a racket! Me granny would have been scared back into her grave at a clatter like that. So in short, the gunshot took you by surprise. And then some. I mean, it was quiet as a mouse. And then all of a sudden, bam! Gregson?
Excuse me.
Pardonnez-moi? Inspector Gregson, do you have something to add? Like I keep saying, I don't appreciate being lumped in with these scoundrels. No, something to add about their testimony. You seemed to react just now what Mr. Skulkin said. Did it make you think of something? Probably nothing, of course. I wouldn't even bother to mention it, only... Well, the fact is, cases don't get solved if you ignore the little details. How about you just tell us what's on your mind? As you know, we brought these fellas into the yard for questioning last night, and the statement they gave then told a slightly different story to what they're saying now. Oh, did it? You claimed you heard the victim shout something out before the gunshot. Might have, Gov, might have. Does ring a bell now you mention it. Granted, it's only a minor detail, but still. I can't help feeling like perhaps you've been a bit sloppy with your testimony here, eh, fellas? If I discover the witness's testimony has been any more sloppy than it has hitherto proven to be, lots of sloppy probing going on over here, I shall be forced to bring the very harshest punishment to bear against them. Easy, easy. We'll get it right this time. That's it. Yep, it's all coming back to me now. Then speak. Supplement your testimony with whatever details have miraculously returned to your questionable minds, sirs. Right, you are, Gus. Just before the gunshot, we heard a voice yelling out, "Give me that gun!"
Hold it!
So in fact, you heard the voice and the gunshot almost simultaneously? We did, Gov, we did! Although, I suppose if you're being honest, we heard a kind of wavering voice before the yell and all. If you don't want to get shot, give me that gun! Bang! Hunting. A career in acting tragically missed. What's this coming from? Could you tell? Of course we could. From the other side of that door behind the counter was. From the storeroom where the victim was found dead. And the voice you heard, it was that of the victim, Mr. Winterbank. On me granny's life, of course it was. On his granny's life, of course it was. You not have the same granny? I guess that can happen. So that would mean it was a little after midnight on Christmas Eve. It was Christmas? That you both knew Mr. Winterbank and the sound of his voice? So that would mean what? What? Nash, what? Any ideas? Yes, Council, indeed it would. Nah. We didn't know the geezer. How am I supposed to deny it when that bloke in all the fancy club has given us the evil eye? If you value your lives, you will ensure your testimony is accurate and true. On me granny's life it is. Oh, on his granny's life it must be. It's a good job his granny's dead. Summarize then. Immediately after hearing the voice of the victim, you then hear the gunshot, causing you to stumble and upset the items on the counter, scattering them all over the shop floor. Make it sound like we're clumsy. Getting tied up after like good little boys. Anyway, the way I see it, like what owned the place was holding a gun, so he should have just fired instead of yelling at the girl.
Hold it!
You're saying that Mr. Winterbank had a gun in his hands? Oh yeah, bet that was a sigh, eh? Them two waving them guns at each other. Must have got pretty heated. Her gun is probably the smoke launcher. I mean, just before he shouted out, we heard the geezer say, "If you don't want to get shot." Didn't really sound like he meant any mind. More of an empty threat, you could say. Mr. Winterbank was known to keep a revolver on his shop counter at all times. People say that to protect the articles in his keeping, he'd readily put a bullet in someone's head if required. That someone being himself, of course. Good grief! Extraordinary devotion indeed, if alarmingly misguided. Well, he certainly sounded like he was ready to pull the trigger the other night. Only the person he was gonna shoot beat him to it. Cooked his goose proper. Bet you wished you'd squeezed the trigger instead of wasting time shouting, "Give me that gun." And it was directly after those words that you heard the gunshot. It was more or less at the same time, Gov. Give me that gun! Kind of ting. Yes, a career in acting. Very tragically missed. And we heard the sound of someone hitting the deck. Before everything went dead quiet. After that, we done a slapdash job tidying the place up. Loving it didn't half give me a fright. We were thinking the shooter'd come out the door and get us next.
Hold it!
So, you didn't try to open the storeroom door then? Not on your life. It went deathly quiet after that, it did. Put the wind right up me. But anyway, the door was locked, wasn't it? No way that was opening. How do you know it was locked? Yes, of course. It was locked from the inside. Or so we've been led to believe. It was, Gov, it was. From the inside. So we had no way of knowing what was going on in there, did we? Unless there was some other way to get a view of the inside of the storeroom. Like through the keyhole, or spy hole perhaps, or the huge fucking window in the top of the door. Don't ring no bells, don't light no lights. We had to cut and run before we noticed anything like that. We're still cutting our teeth in this game, see? But one day, we'll really cut the mustard. Please, cut it out. But as we know, behind that door was the victim's lifeless body, with the accused not 2 feet away. Yes, unfortunately. Tina was in there, unconscious, with the gun in her hand. To confirm, would it be correct to say that neither of you set foot inside the storeroom? That's right. Couldn't have, even if it wanted to. Stuck everything back where we found it and scarp it straight into him in the black.
Hold it!
Yes, whereupon you fired a shot from your own gun at Mr. Herlock Sholmes. Oh, yeah, we was a bit hasty there. We was, Nash, we was. Truth be told, I was already shaking like a leaf when you lot turned up. If you're shaking like a leaf, don't put a loaded gun in your hand. Good advice, miss, good advice. Truth be told, my mind went totally blank. Before your mind goes totally blank, make sure you don't have a loaded gun in your hand. Mental note made, miss. After that, we laid it down the street, but apparently we looked dirty to the coppers or something, so they clapped the derbies on us like winking. And after you've been handcuffed, the police found this revolver in your possession, correct? Well, yeah. But listen, that proves it, doesn't it? That proves it, doesn't it, eh? We couldn't have shot the pawnbroker, see? We never even had a chance, did we?
Hold it!
Unless you did. And why should we believe that? Eh, what? Well, because it's true, innit? The place was totally empty when we went in. At that time, the victim was already in the storeroom, having been forced to open the door by the accused who had a gun to his head. Allegedly. In other words, on the night in question, these two witnesses never even laid eyes on the proprietor of the pawnbrokery, Mr. Winterbank. Correct? You've got it, mister! Down to a T! So the Skulkin brothers never actually encountered Mr. Winterbank? Is that really true, I wonder? That's it? That's the full extent of their testimony? What is it, Bruno? You look very fierce. I could pour you some herbal tea if you're tired. Thank you, but I'm fine. Being such a logical thinker, you'll probably laugh. But I feel as though these brothers are still hiding something. Something important. It is nothing more than a feeling, though. I have no proof to support it. Well, feelings can be very, very logical at times. Sorry? People's expressions, the movement of their eyes, the words they choose. You can take all that in, and your brain will quietly analyze it to come up with a feeling you like you describe. You've concluded that there's something suspicious about this testimony without knowing why, that's all. I think you should trust your instincts. Iris, thank you. Sometimes, I think she's 10 years old. I must be 5. Alright, so we have to present something. Paperwork, blood. The coat ticket. Iris' story shouldn't be relevant. The case from a while ago. Government secrets. Single bullet wound. Photograph in the back. Map of the store. Each gun fired once. Two photographs together. Stereoscope. We did knock a few things over, but we weren't after them for nothing. Before the gunshot, we heard a voice yelling out, "Give me that gun." Like what owned the place was holding the gun, so we should have just fired, silly yellow girl. Hang on. Well, why does she have the gun then? Can we present to call that some bullshit? What was it? There was this, I guess? Belonging to the victim, Gina was holding. And what gun was he holding? I hope this works.
Objection!
Oh, that's not the sentence you want to hear. No, it's not at odds. You fucked it up. I'm sorry, counsel. Failed to see a connection. But the connection's there! Damn you, Judge! And for heaven's sake, would you kindly desist from that wide-eyed, panic-stricken look you all want to wear? But it's the only panic-stricken look I know. Okay. Guess we just have to go through the whole thing again.
Hold it!
Tidied it up. Give me that gun.
Hold it!
You got something less? Like, they know him and the sound of his voice, so I'm assuming they had something pawned here. Oh, yeah, okay. Talking to her, got shot in the back immediately. Yeah, you're right. That's a good one. I can present the shot in the back picture on the immediate thing, which would be this one, probably, or the next one. Clumsy. Good little boys. Good little clumsy boys. Just before we heard the gunshot, give me that gun. So, I think maybe on this one? Try this photo? Oh, how'd he get shot in the back then? Fuck! You're quite right, lass. How did he get shot in the back? Yeah, it's kind of bullshit. That one didn't count. That one didn't work. Give me that gun. If I had to do it on a different fucking point, that's gonna be annoying. Discovered him in the black. Couldn't have done it, we had no chance. Alright. I'm finally fucking looking this up. What was that site I used last time? Boys, bloodshot, photograph, da da da. We're in part 6. Blah blah blah. Statement 3, crime scene photograph. Statement 3. Yeah, I just did it on the wrong. God damn it. Yeah, the wrong
Objection.
statement, and it didn't count it. So you're saying that on the night in question, the victim, Mr. Winterbank, was wielding a gun. Is that correct? That's it, Gov. You got the picture. Yes, Nash, yes. No question. And yet, photographic evidence obtained immediately after the incident clearly shows that Mr. Winterbank was not holding a firearm of any description. You what? Gordon Bennett, that ain't right.
Objection!
There can be no question that the victim's revolver was used in the incident. I would remind the court that Mr. Winterbank's gun was found at the scene. Not only was it identified as the murder weapon, but it was found in the accused's hand. Yeah, that mole tooler used the victim's own gun to finish him off. Give me that gun! Bam! Kinda ting.
Hold it!
Stay exactly where you are, right there. There, right there! A condescending smirk, was that something? Sorry. I'm sorry, Legally Blonde, I've forgotten the lyrics. Eh? If the crime had taken place as you so colorfully described in your testimony, it would give rise to an undeniable and significant inconsistency in the final moments you just acted out. Goodness, are you sure, counsel? You intrigue me, my learned friend. But let's see some evidence to support your claim. Where is the proof that demonstrates inconsistency in the witness's portrayal of the victim's final moments? The same photo again? Or the fact that it was only shot once? Quick tab. Autopsy report. Instant death, single bullet wound in the back. No other signs of trauma.
Take that!
According to their testimony, the witnesses claim to have heard a shout of "Give me that gun!" followed by the gunshot. Indeed, with the two events happening almost simultaneously, or so we've been led to believe. Yes, that's right. Now, if that testimony is true, it would mean that at the moment of death, the victim and his attacker would have been facing each other. However, In the autopsy report, it clearly states that the victim died instantly after being shot from behind. Ah. So, as I stated before, it's an undeniable inconsistency in your testimony, Mr. and Mr. Skulkin. Yeah! But it's the God's honest truth. It's Nash, it is. When he was shot that night, the shopkeeper had a gun in his hand. We saw it with our own bleeding eyes. How? When? Did I hear you right just now? You actually saw Mr. Windbank holding a gun? Something like that might have slipped out. Ladies and gentlemen, you have all just heard the admission by these two witnesses that on the night in question, they actually saw with their own eyes the victim wielding a gun. Which can only mean that despite their testimony to the contrary, Skulkin brothers must have encountered the victim in person. Nash, yeah! Order, order, order! Order, order, order! Witnesses, explain yourselves at once. Well, the thing is, it weren't supposed to, It would seem that my previous warning fell on deaf ears. I made it quite clear that false witness would be the death of you. Uh-oh, boys. You're gonna get reaped. Am I to understand that you replaced the untruths of your original testimony with renewed lies? So sorry, Governor. Truth is, see, we, Cut it out, Nash. Cut it out. If we blab now, you know what it will do to us. He? Who are they talking about? Let me make your position here perfectly clear. You will talk. There is no other option available to you. Bruv, come on. The game's up. But he'll have our guts for garters. In case it hasn't quite sunk in yet, no matter how hard you try to hide it, the truth will come out. On the night in question, it is now apparent that you brothers met face to face with the victim. I demand that you testify again to explain the precise circumstances under which this meeting took place. Well, do we have to? On pain of death. I suggest you make yourselves fully aware that this is your very last chance to tell the truth. Encounter with the victim. Alright, so we just got inside the gaff and heaved a sigh of relief when the geezer showed his mug. Give me that gun, he bellowed, and then he flew at us like he was possessed. I thought we'd had it. For an old geezer, the bloke was strong as an ox. He chucked me over the counter. I pulled me gun on him, and then he legged it through that door into the back room. We never had nothing to do with killing him. That's not what happened. That's all what happened, I swear. So you're now telling us that moments before the victim was killed in the storeroom, you in fact encountered him in the main part of the shop. Well, yeah. Sorry. Well, we find ourselves at an interesting juncture. This changes matters considerably. But honest, Governor, this time, Nash, this time, we ain't got nothing more to hide. Very well. Counsel for the defense, you may proceed with your cross-examination. Yes, my lord. This is it. The moment I've been waiting for. Counter with the victim. Alright, so we just got inside the gaff and heaved a sigh of relief when the geezer showed his mug.
Hold it!
When you say geezer, I presume you mean the victim and proprietor of the shop, Mr. Winterbank. Who else? Sorry, I mean, that's right. We was keeping a close eye on the entrance to the gaff, obviously. But we never thought no one was going to come out the back room like that. Back room being the pawnbrokery storeroom. Yeah, that must be where he popped up from. Only place it could have been. So it would seem that the victim was already in the storeroom when these brothers entered the premises. Which means Ginny must have been in there at that point as well. That doesn't make sense, does it? If Gina had threatened Mr. Winterbank into the storeroom with her gun at gunpoint, storeroom with her at gunpoint, then why would he have emerged from the same room all alone when the brothers arrived? Oh, I don't know. Did you see the accused at that time? Alright. The thing. No, actually that doesn't make sense. I was gonna say the picture was taken, but they're out of order because of daylight savings. So it actually happened at 2 AM or 12 AM. But that doesn't really change much and doesn't make any sense. I've been waiting for a fucking daylight savings thing to come up the entire time. This entire game. Fucking Around the World in 80 Days has ruined me. Every time I read or experience any mystery, I'm always waiting for daylight savings. It was daylight savings that did it. We've still got an hour to do the job we need to do. What, that mole tooler? Couldn't tell you. What's a mole tooler? That doesn't sound like a great thing. Sounds somewhat pejorative. No way, Copper. We had bigger fish to fry then. I mean, the old geezer just lost it. Give me that gun, he bellowed, and then he flew at us like he was possessed. I thought we'd had it. You mentioned that Mr. Winterbank shouted those words in your previous testimony too. You claimed that you heard him yelling them on the other side of the storeroom door. Oh, did we? But the truth is, he was shouting those words at you, wasn't he? Well, yeah. Was the victim, Mr. Winterbank, wielding a gun at the time? Was he ever? Blimey, lummy, a great ugly barrel he had, straight to point at me frontispiece. So what you're saying is, you definitely saw Mr. Winterbank with a gun at that time. Is that right? It is, Gov, it is. Spot on. Then all of a sudden he came at us, he did. It was bedlam. I didn't know what was going on for who. Who was going for... Huh? It's bedlam. I didn't know who was going for who. Oh. You were clearly all going for each other. Like Nash said, we thought we'd had it. I mean... For an old geezer, the bloke was strong as an ox. He chucked me over the counter. Why are you... sweating so much? You guys are having a rough time of it.
Hold it!
He chucked me over the counter. Yes, I noted that you mentioned the counter in your previous testimony too. Well, yeah, of course we did. He knocked over a load of books, a candlestick, and some skull whatnot. That got tangled in some marionette, what knocked over a picture frame, what knocked them scales on the floor. So in fact, it wasn't the sound of the gunshot that shocked you and made you knock those things off the counter. Well, Big Bravier went flying over that counter like a gunshot, I can tell you. Then the old geezer pinned him. Armbar. He did, Nash, he did. If you hadn't been there, the bloke would have flattened me like a bloomin' pancake in seconds. At the time in question, the alarm was raised at the local police station via a secret cable from the pawnbrokery. There is a button under the counter used to activate it, which was presumably pressed by the victim. That's right, when the brothers fled the scene and back onto the street. They ran straight into the arriving police, didn't they? Poor Mr. Winterbank. He did everything he could to protect his shop. I pulled me gun on him, and then he legged it through that door into the back room.
Hold it!
Were you intending to shoot Mr. Winterbank? No, never. I was just, you know, looking out for me bruv, weren't I? He was being flattened, don't forget. By a man whose shop was being burgled, yes. And then, the man fled into the storeroom when you pointed your gun at him, is that correct? Is that it? Yeah, that's it. He shoved me away, then ran off through that door and shut himself in. something about that last remark. Something that doesn't quite ring true. I wonder why Mr. Winterbank ran away into the storeroom. What? Well, according to what everyone's saying, Ginny was in there waiting for him, with a gun. Ah, yes, that's right. Gino allegedly used Mr. Winterbank's gun to threaten him and force him to open the storeroom door. In which case, how did the gun end up in Mr. Winterbank's hands again? I have no idea, but that is strange, isn't it? This little inconsistency could be significant. I should make a mental note of it. Look, the point is, me and me bruv here. That's right, Nash, that's right. Me and me bruv here. We never had nothing to do with killing him. That's all what happened, I swear. You say you had nothing to do with it? Nothing at all. Nothing, Gov, nothing. The old geezer went and shut himself in the back room, didn't he? Locked it was, from the inside. We know it was, because we tried to open it. But it's a decent door, that one. Good and strong, wouldn't budge an inch. So in the end, the situation remains unchanged. Does it? Inside the storeroom with the pawnbroker, there was only one other person. The sole person who could possibly have shot the victim. The accused, Miss Gina Lestrade. It would indeed appear so. What say you to that, Counsel? I don't know. But what are you asking me for? I don't know. I'm just a little boy. I don't know. Is there anyone else apart from Gina who could possibly have shot Mr. Winterbank? There could have been. You fucking boys. Mr. and Mr. Skulkin. Hey, what? What's that look for? From the moment you admitted that you'd encountered the victim face to face that night, the course of this trial changed completely. It did? What is your point, my learned friend? The question we must answer is, who could have shot Mr. Winterbank? And it is the belief of the defense that the defendant is not the only possible answer at all. You have my attention. In that case, let us return to this plan of the premises. The victim was killed in the storeroom, which was locked from the inside. Those are the facts. So pray, what other possible answer to the question of who shot the man could there be? Counsel, you must now provide answers to the court in respect of two conundrums. Two, my lord? Twice as many chances to be right, maybe? Indeed, namely, from what location did the culprit shoot the victim? And furthermore, where was the victim at the time? Understood, my lord. Are you alright, Bruno? I'm not entirely sure, but there's one thing I am sure about. If I can prove there's a credible new alternative to what happened, it would change Gina's prospects hugely. So now, time for some clarity. Show the court on this plan the answers to the questions posed by his lordship. If you believe someone else could have killed the victim, indicate from where that person could have fired the gun. Through the fucking big-ass door flap window?
Take that!
The defense believes that the culprit could have shot the victim from this location here. And then answer to the second question. Assuming the culprit fired from the location indicated, where was the victim at the time? In there.
Take that!
The defense believes that the victim would have been in this position here. What your answers in fact show is that your own position is as absurd as those you have indicated on the plan. What are you saying? What Lord Van Zeeks is saying, Counsel, is that your answers are clearly flawed. Ooh, ah! What? I knew it. It's twice as many chances to be wrong. I had to pick from the other side of the door, didn't I? Someone else in the storeroom? Really? Oh, through the window? Well, well, you appear to be a glutton for punishment. So now, time for some clarity. Sure, the glutton has planned the same thing you just did. I think I fucked up and did it on the door, and I didn't like that, so I'm gonna do it like
Take that!
way out there. There's a little window. I looked through the little window in the anime. And then he was in there. Okay, I didn't get an instant objection this time, so I think I'm good. The culprit shot the victim from outside the storeroom. Continue. Mr. Winterbank died instantly from a bullet wound in his back. Looking at the stain of blood on the storeroom floor, it doesn't appear that the body was moved after death, which tells us that he was almost certainly shot while he was in the storeroom. The crucial point is, where was the shooter when the fatal bullet was fired? So you are adamant that the shot was fired from outside the storeroom? Well, according to the Skulkin brothers' earlier testimony, I pulled my gun on him, and then he legged it through that door into the back room. If Mr. Winterbank ran away through the door, we have to assume that the door was open at the time. Ah! It was at precisely that moment when the victim was fleeing for his life. But these brothers had the perfect opportunity to shoot the man in the back once he was inside the storeroom. Ah! Yeah! Yeah! Come to think of it, do you remember what the prosecutor said at the start of the trial? Moving on to the findings of Scotland Yard's coroner, his report states that the bullet entered the body on a rising diagonal trajectory. It means the victim was likely shot by someone significantly shorter in height than himself. Ringo did it! Poor man, shot while he was running as fast as he could to safety. Oh, of course! He would have been leaning forward as he was running away. So even if the bullet was fired horizontally, it would still have entered his body on an upward trajectory. So the culprit isn't necessarily someone shorter than Mr. Winterbank.
Objection!
I'm sure my learned friend can't have forgotten that the storeroom door was found closed and locked from the inside. You claim the victim was shot as he fled into the room? You also claim his corpse was dexterous enough to turn the key in the lock? Oh, but... What if someone else locked the door? Like Gina! Yes, there is someone else who could have locked the storeroom door. Is that so? Very well then, Judge. Nope, very well then, Counsel. This is the Judge speaking. Present your hypothesis to the court. In the scenario just described, the defense's assertion is that the victim was shot from outside the storeroom. In which case, who shot and locked the storeroom door from the inside? Who the fuck do you think? The only other person in there? Come on, dude. Obviously, the person who locked the door was the only other person inside the storeroom at the time. The defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade.
Objection!
That's absurd. You're suggesting that the accused deliberately engineered the sealed room? For what possible reason? Such actions would only serve to tighten the noose around her neck, and also stop her getting shot. I am inclined to agree, I must say. Well, Counsel? Yeah, that's a tricky one, that, isn't it? Half-baked notions have no place in my courtroom, Counsel. Remember that, please. But of course Ginny would have locked the door. It almost goes without saying, doesn't it? It It does? Yes! Yonosuke, god damn it. Well, if I was Ginny in that situation, I know I would have locked the door as quickly as I could. I mean, those two burglars had just fired a gun in her direction, hadn't they? Oh yes, obviously. Before the two brothers arrived, Mr. Lestrade and Mr. Winterbank were in the storeroom together. Now, I don't know what went on between them at that time, but at some point, Mr. Winterbank must have heard the intruders breaking into his shop and left the storeroom. Intruders, eh? That's us, bruv. If your theory is correct, that would leave the accused alone in the storeroom. Yes, it would. Then, probably only moments later, the victim fled back through the storeroom door, hoping to escape danger. Hit in the back by the bullet, Mr. Winterbank fell to the floor where he was, just inside the storeroom. And what we have to ask ourselves now is, what would the defendant have done in that moment? Oh, I see where you're going with this. Outside the storeroom was a terrifying killer who had just murdered Mr. Winterbank. As soon as that thought struck Mr. Lestrade, she slammed the door shut and locked it, in order to save her own life.
Hold it!
But I mean, we ain't the ones who done it. We ain't. You've got to believe us. I mean, come on, we'd never shoot no one.
Objection!
That's blatantly untrue. I know for a fact you would, because before my own eyes, you shot Mr. Herlock-Sholmes. There is only one logical conclusion here. Mr. and Mrs. Skulkin, you brothers had every opportunity to have been the true perpetrators of Mr. Winterbank's murder. Nah! Yeah! Where does this leave us? You mean to say it wasn't the pickpocket who shot the pawnbroker after all? I should have known it was those three brothers. They look as shady as a dense forest. That was amazing, Runo. All the members of the jury seem to be firmly on your side now. No, first time ever. And probably the last. Well, I think you've done it. Surely they'll have to give a verdict of not... Heh, heh, heh. An admirable effort, my learned friend. What's this now? He's laughing? He's having a little giggle? You find the situation amusing, Lord Van Zieks? I myself find the defense's argument most persuasive. Alright. Glass number 4? Possibly 5. It's a pretty empty bottle. Oh yeah, baby, we're fucking losing count. Ah. Yum. I dare say. Such chicanery is the bread and butter of the street performers in your provincial eastern nation. But such... Ooh. Yum. Good wine. But such blatantly malicious conjuring tricks amount to nothing more than inexcusable pettifoggery here. Damn it, pettifoggery. What? The hypothesis you put forward so ostensibly credibly cannot and will not stand. Because, you see, it contains a fatal flaw. A fatal flaw? Do you mean to tell me that you're unaware of your logic's failing? I say, Lord Van Zieks, might be an idea to explain this ballet conjuring trick or whatever it is to the troops on the ground, hmm? The fatal flaw in my learned friend's argument is really very simple to understand. Fuck! No, don't do that! Alright. This is gonna be a rough one. This is a full glass. We're chugging. Woo! Ooh! That's not the proper way to drink wine. Alrighty then. Assuming you're not too dim-witted to count bullets. DMing Bubble, keep an eye on me. It's fine. I'm on top of it. What's a bottle of wine ever done to someone? By George, count bullets? It's a nice wine. It's not so nice that sculling a full glass doesn't take its toll, you know? Oh dear. He noticed then. Huh? What's everyone talking about? I didn't notice shit. Council. It is somewhat questionable the way I have a gun that has been fired and... Oh, sorry. Gina has a gun that has been fired and is unconscious. Yes, sir? Tell the court, how many bullets were found at the scene of the crime?
All checked up.
Still good, dude.
Slow down. No.
Two bullets. Two bullets.
2 bullets.
2 bullets. Correct. The first, that which hit the victim in the back, ending his life. And the second, that which struck the detective, Mr. Herlock Sholmes, on his arrival at the scene. Indeed. The defense presented a picture showing the damage caused by the second bullet earlier in the proceedings. But what if... third gun, third bullet? I can't prove it, which means I don't get to use it. It doesn't count. But oh, I reckon that's probably what we got going on here. Each brother has a gun. Had a gun. The bullet which injured Mr. Sholmes appears to have passed through his body to strike the calendar. Your lordship's understanding is correct. Furthermore, we know there are 2 firearms involved in the incident. The revolver belonging to the victim, Mr. Winderbank, and the Skulkin brothers' revolver. The evidence shows that a single bullet was fired from each gun. Yes, indeed it does. A single bullet from each. Now then, my learned friend. You yourself told the court only moments ago that these 2 brothers shot Mr. Herlock Sholmes right before your eyes. Did I tell the court that? Oh yes I did, yeah. Shot Sholmes, yes, that's correct. Someone did. I don't know who shot Sholmes. I did. Oh my goodness, I think you'll find that if the single bullet that was fired from the brother's gun hit Mr. Sholmes, it means... Winterbank, not shot by the same gun. Stop. Only 1 bullet. Stop. Exactly. Yes, the snip on the street performer. Big Yawn presented an ostensibly credible argument. However, it was never anything more than a diversionary trick with no hope of standing up to scrutiny. Oh. Ooh-wah! Ooh-wah! Order! Shut the fuck up! Pray forgive the discourtesy of flinging the dregs of this hallowed nectar into the public gallery. I can probably assume I'm not going to be drinking any more wine then. Lord Van Zeeks. Unless he pulls out another bottle immediately. But this court needs to open its eyes. The accused, Miss Gina Lestrade, is no ordinary little girl. Despite her young years, she can, regrettably, no longer be described as a juvenile. No, the person in the dock is far from a law-abiding citizen. She has a past riddled with criminal conduct. The truth is, the accused broke into the pawnbrokery on the night in question with loathsome intent. Allegedly, as we can see beyond doubt in this print, which depicts her threatening the victim with the murder weapon. Does it? It doesn't necessarily. She's not pointing it at him. I have here in my possession one more piece of evidence the prosecution wishes to present. That disc. Present this an hour ago, my guy. Present this 2 hours ago when the case started. When the trial started. I'll be taking that whatever it is of McGilden's down to the yard, thank you very much. No, don't. Don't give it to him. It's mine, that is. Mine. Mine. I'm sorry, miss. But anything belonging to McGild has to be taken in as evidence now. Yes, that music box disc. McGilden's music box disc. Music box disc. The very day before the hateful murder of Mr. Winterbank, the accused attempted to make off with this article, which clearly doesn't belong to her. And with none of the subtlety of a pickpocket, I might add. By brute force and brazen impudence. Good gracious. Good golly gosh! Make no mistake, any sympathy for the accused on account of her years is misguided and dangerous. You're recognizing some things. I think it's intentionally setting up a callback to a previous game. Cool. I'm not gonna get it. Sorry, previous games. There are no depths to which this girl would not stoop if pushed. No crimes she would not commit. I'm only here because of Van Zeeks. I saw him at a Tumblr gift set, and I love him. The court forgets that fact at its peril. I see. Whether as a red herring or as a rhyme remains to be seen. It's like poetry. It rhymes. I did play most of the first game. I don't think I finished the last case, but I played some amount of it. I think it would be prudent to take this music box disc into evidence, counsel.
Hold it!
The last case of the first game, but also not the bonus content. I think, yeah, I've got the remake collection or whatever it is, and I know it's got extra case. I think I didn't finish the actual proper game last case. Although, now thinking about it, maybe I did. I don't remember anything other than walking around a lake trying to figure out what the fuck I'm supposed to be doing. But that wasn't the last case. That was like case 2 or 3. Lord Van Zeeks, Inspector Gregson. What? Yes, Inspector. We had a meeting yesterday at the yard with the prosecution service, and, I think it was agreed that disc wouldn't be used as evidence. The lake is ironically the case I'm talking about. Okay. What happened in the lake? There was some fireworks and a camera that was set to go off at loud noises. And that's all I remember. What's this all about? Why is the inspector acting strangely? It's the first time he said anything to Van Zeeks at all. I am unaware of any such meeting. But those were the instructions right from the top. The government bigwigs were insistent. Inspector, I am the prosecutor, and I alone determine how to present my case. Your warning is noted. Thank you. Fuck the bigwigs. The prosecution wishes to proceed with submitting this disc as evidence, my lord. Indeed. On the reverse side is a note that reads for McGilded. So is he also going to present a machine, a music box that can read it, that can play it? The prosecution has established the accused's motive, opportunity, and baseness of character. There is nothing more to add. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I await your informed decisions and rest my case. Wait. I'm waiting. I'm not waiting. I don't believe it. I had the jury on my side for once, for all of 5 minutes. Dear. What the hell is the point of that evidence if that doesn't even add anything at this point? I don't know. She tried to steal this thing the day before she did crime. Hey everyone, she did crime. Ooh, got him. Send her to the gallows. Oh dear, it wasn't even for 5 minutes, Bruno. My lord! Wonder if I might say something at this point. Proceed, Mr. Foreman. Been stumbling about in a bit of a fog up to now, if truth be told. But all of a sudden, the answer's barely obvious to me and my men. There's only one thing for it. Oh no, you're gonna all go for not guilty again? You fucking bastards. Very well, the court will hear from the jury. Ladies and gentlemen, you will present your leanings as to the defendant's culpability.
Guilty.
Guilty.
You bastards.
Guilty.
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 What the fuck changed? Nothing happened. We have a consensus among the jury, it seems. When you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. You're not allowed to say that. Copyright. That's my line. I wrote that for Hurley. Ah, how dare he use it against us. Don't worry, Iris. I don't think we're finished yet. There's still more to this case than we realize. There must be, because there's one thing that I'm absolutely certain of. Gina didn't shoot Mr. Winterbank. That's beyond any doubt. Very well. We will proceed with the second summation examination of the day. Mr. Foreman, are you and the other jurors ready? Garrett Squadron is primed and ready for action, sir. Very good. So, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will each explain on what grounds you have now determined the defendant to be guilty. Guilty. The jurors' contentions. Once a rogue, always a rogue, I'd say, Different breed to us law-abiding citizens. As only 2 bullets were found at the scene, I would say the whole case is done and dusted. You don't need a stereoscope to see the truth here. Every which way you look at it, it was that pickpocket. I never imagined that simple operation would cause me such grief. The accused attempted a theft on the previous day. I can see I'm in for a busy day ahead. I am ballistics expert. I have seen many shootings. There is nothing I do not know about guns. It would seem there is a little remaining room for doubt. I have to admit, I was rather bowled over by the argument put forward by the chap in black. But when that fell apart like a house of cards, I saw that I'd jolly well been hoodwinked. Well, no more. Ugh, the whole courtroom is turning against me. It's not fair. Iris, that prosecutor's being mean. Just because Ginny's done some things she shouldn't have done in the past, that doesn't make her a murderer. Oh, fuck me running. Where did you get that? Why did you bring so many bottles? Who brings 2 bottles of wine to a court case? Alright. Uh-oh. That's nearly the whole bottle gone. I don't have 2 bottles, so once this is done, that's it. Ooh. Yum, yum, yum. Allow me to savor this fruity vintage. while I savor the spectacle of your fruitless debate on the matter. Here's to the truth coming out, eventually. That's enough preamble. Council, proceed with the summation examination. I think he did just call me a fruit. He wants to savor the fruity vintage. Yes, my lord. What's that? That sounds familiar. Yes, that's fucking Code Geass is what that is. Yes, my lord. I say that all the time. At least twice. Once a rogue, always a rogue, I say. Different breed to us law-abiding citizens.
Hold it!
Just because Miss Lestrade has a history of pickpocketing, she must be guilty of murder. Is that what you're trying to say? Is that what you're saying? I shall enjoy this fruity twink while the case goes on. Ah, well. Are all members of the British Army so quick to judge? Oh, pardon? Are you mocking Her Majesty's Armed Forces? The greatest military organization in the world? Ooh. No, I'm simply illustrating my point. Making assumptions about people because they're a soldier or a pickpocket is wrong. And dangerous. Making assumptions makes an ass out of you and umptions. Right? Eh? I think that's got. Yes, well, might have a point there, I suppose. Let's not forget the girl had already shown she had it in her from before. You gotta keep an eye on your fruity drunk, Bubble. Poggle. The lesser. Poggle the greater. Which Poggle is Bubble more like? The lesser or the greater? She's clearly a criminal sort through and through, can't deny it. When you say that she'd shown she had it in her, are you referring to this? Exactly. Tried to swipe that only a day earlier, Or am I mistaken? Not exactly. Given that I was actually there at the time, it's hard to refute that. I've never actually seen the real thing. I can't wait to have a closer look at it. Oh yes, of course. Haven't met both Poggles? Poggles the Greater and Lessers? They both show up in Clone Wars, right? I mean, hang on, Greater might not. Greater, I think... Does Greater die in Attack of the Clones? I think it's Greater who's in Attack of the Clones. And then Lesser who's in Return of the Jedi. Wait, is he actually in it? Now that I say that. Maybe he's just in Clone Wars. We may never know. Unless someone looks up Wikipedia. Mr. Shongs did use his caramel bars to make a copy of the disc, didn't he? And then ordered every type of music box he could find from across Europe. Lesser wasn't Geonosis? Okay. Have we not seen Greater then? Whole stream on pause. Poggle the Greater. Oh, there is no Greater. Alright, I'm just fucking full of shit right over here. The Lesser is the only one we see. Man, I wish we seen the other Poggle at some point. I bet he'd be pretty great. We still don't know what tune it plays though, do we? You got God on Mustafar, yeah. Yeah, he did show up in Revenge. I thought so. I didn't think so. I thought they just wasn't in it. But I'd love to see how the original compares to Hurley's copy. McGillard's disc. Could it be a clue somehow? Perhaps we just should examine it in more detail. There's only 2 bullets were found at the scene. I would say the whole case is done and dusted, but... Let's have a little look-see at this. Can we play this yet? Can we have a look at this blood yet? Oh! We couldn't look at it before because we didn't have access to the disc. Now we can. Is it going to match someone? Bruno, look, this is blood. Yes, you're right. Just a small smear, but definitely blood. Actually, I feel as though I might have noticed that before. Yeah, we brought it up. Ha-ha! Then it's my time to shine again. I thought I'd be waiting forever. Alright, hold still with that disc, Bruno. Can we get this done quickly, Iris? In a flash! Phew! Pinku janai, mazentara! It's green! Oh my god! Ooh, a lovely bright shade again. Wait, that color. What is it? It's just that green. It's not the first time we've seen that color, is it? The blood samples portfolio have been updated in the court record. Oh my god. Well, hang on, let's have a look at the outside. Anything crazy? Oh, just the thing we've already seen. We know this. Who's green? Unknown. Oh, Holmes is green. Holmes is green? Sorry, Sholmes is green? What does that mean? Two bullets.
Hold it!
It's the number of bullets that has you convinced? Only 2 bullets were fired, and the 2 guns that fired them have been examined by the police. When the parlour maid asked me how many... Whoops. How many are invited for dinner, I always tell her to count the table settings. Well, that's logical, I suppose. Although... Yes? Sometimes, after dining, crockery does go missing. 1 or 2 guests rather like the fine china. Does your employer dine with thieves? So I suppose, if there was another bullet somewhere, of which we were unaware, I'd have to reconsider my position. 3rd bullet somewhere on the scene. Could that be possible? Can I prove it? I don't know if I can prove it. There's blood on the disc. Stereoscope, shooting. Put on the back. Government secrets. Case 2 months ago. Baskervilles. Blood from a long time ago. Blood samples? Mason's blood was on the ticket. Long time ago, that's fine. Pop's blood. Here, that's, yep. 1, 2. That's 2 bullets. Sholmes' blood. Okay. Hang on. Do we think this is Sholmes? Sholmes was entering. There is a bullet here. And there's blood everywhere. Was I fucking... Hang on. Can we talk to the surgeon? Come back to this. Hey surgeon, who were you surgery on? Who were you surging? Only 2 bullets were discovered by the police during the investigation. Yes, I know. Right. And I don't imagine the good man of Scotland Yard would have overlooked anything. If I missed a bullet while I was cleaning his lordship's office, well, I would receive a sound scolding, I don't doubt. And he should receive a visit from the police, perhaps. It sounds like a crime scene to me. A 3rd bullet. It would completely turn things around if there was one, wouldn't it? Do you think we might find one lying around somewhere? Yes! In Hurley! Hey, surgeon. No, I don't care about you right now. Civil operation caused you such grief. Tell me about this operation. What you got? What kind of operation? Would you please stop muttering about things that have nothing to do with this trial, sir? The defendant's life is on the line here. Well, the thing is, I couldn't really say that it has nothing to do with this trial, to be honest. Huh? I mean, there's no question that the man was shot, but the bullet had simply vanished from his stomach. It's quite inexplicable, don't you think? I almost don't want to ask, but this surgery you've been muttering about all this time, you were operating on... What was the fellow's name? Herr Lich? Me? Herr Lich? That's my name in German. No. Herlock? No. Herlock? Herlock Sholmes, by any chance? Yes, good lord! It was that Herlock fella. What? You're the surgeon that operated on Mr. Sholmes? That's right. Using the very latest anesthesia techniques, I might add. It was a fairly major op, I can tell you. This is crazy. Let me see. The fellow was brought in not long after midnight, if I remember correctly. That's too early. He said he'd been shot by some criminal or other, so I opened him up like a shot. But the funny thing is, I went over his insides with a fine-toothed comb. Couldn't find the bullet anywhere. So I'm afraid I had to throw up my hands and just stitch the fellow back up. Hang on, there isn't a scalpel still inside Mr. Sholmes, though. I hate to state the obvious, but yes. Surely that's because the bullet is still at the scene of the shooting. The counsel for the defense is correct, as is clearly shown in this photographic print. The bullet that the Skulkin brothers fired at Mr. Sholmes hit him in the stomach region. Then exited his body and lodged into the shop wall where the calendar was hanging by the door. I think you'll find it's really quite simple if you just consider the problem three-dimensionally. Who do you think I am, son? Well, juror number 4 is about the best I can do. As soon as I saw the wound to the man's stomach, I flipped him over. Like a pancake? Are you saying that you checked his back? Of course I did! And there wasn't a trace of injury. No sign that the bullet had left the body at all. Bing, bing, bing! Ooh, got him! What? That's the point! The only logical conclusion was that the bullet was still in somewhere in the man's innards. Which is exactly why I set about slicing him up. And I'm still none the wiser, even now. How many times do I have to say it? Can somebody please explain how it happened? Can somebody please solve the mystery? It's almost as much of a mystery as how this jury was put together. Oh, same thing again. Can we double go into that?
Hold it!
Mr. Sholmes is surgeon on the jury. I've experienced some coincidence recently, but this is ridiculous. Are you surprised with anyone? There's no question that Mr. Sholmes was shot. Well, that's what the police told me when they brought him in. How bad were his injuries, Doctor? He was in a bad way. He lost a huge amount of blood, you know. I suspect he was shot at quite close range, too. His skin was badly burnt around the point of entry. Burnt? As I said, I flipped the fellow over and examined his back. There was no sign of an exit wound, which is why I thought I'd better locate the lug and pop it out. And yet you say you found no bullet inside the patient. Well, I wouldn't have done, would I? Because it's in the wall of the pawnbrokers. But how did it get there? I need someone to solve this mystery before it drives me to insanity. If only there was some expert in ballistics who could help, even if he looks extremely untrustworthy. You know who I have who's an extremely untrustworthy looking expert in ballistics? The Russian guy! Who I will listen to first, and then we'll get back to it. I'm a ballistics expert. I have seen many shootings. There is nothing I do not know about guns. Oop. Bam! Those two statements clearly contradict the idea that all I do is pit jurors against each other. Ooh, a ballistics expert. Pitting. P-I-T-T. On the night in question, Mr. Sholmes was shot by one of the Skulkin brothers. Since there was no sign of an exit wound on his back, we must assume the bullet didn't pass through him. No bullet was found lodged in Mr. Sholmes' body either. Furthermore, a bullet was found lodged in the wall of the shop where Mr. Sholmes was shot. Juror number 6. Hello, my name is Villain. Pleased to meet you. this apparent contradiction in the facts that is so clearly troubling juror number 4. Are you able to explain the mystery? I have seen a very similar situation in Motherland. It was night, and there was blizzard. I was running away along mountain road in freezing cold. Golly! The snow was piling high on both sides of the road. It was very narrow and dangerous. My pursuers had hunting rifles and they were on dog sleds. Mental note, don't ask too many questions. I was shot from behind and I fell down in snow. And this situation was very similar to what I hear today from Doctor. They could not find a bullet in my body. And no sign of, how do you say, exit wound. Then where did the bullet go? Bullet never hit me. Hit you? Why'd you fall down? Bullet hit frozen wall of ice really close to my side. What? One small piece, really sharp, broke away from a lump of ice and pierced my body. It made a deep wound that looks just like bullet wound. Good gracious. Of course, piece of ice quickly melted inside me. And that is solution to mystery of disappearing bullet. But that doesn't answer the question at all. The shooting happened in a pawnbroker's shop. Not some snowy mountain road in another country. Just an idea, but we might not be looking at exactly the same scenario here. Bruno, where exactly was Hurley shot again? Well, according to the report, in his stomach. Sort of around this area, I think. Well, that's precisely where he always wears a little pouch on his belt. Pouch? Actually, I might have noticed something like that. Yes, a pouch. It's where he keeps 3 glass vials of very dangerous chemicals that he uses in his investigations. What? Really? Doctor, where is the pouch Mr. Sholmes is wearing? The fellow had nothing like that on his person when he arrived at the hospital, as far as I remember. If I may. Lord Van Zieks? While I realize it is forbidden for the prosecution to interject during a summation examination, I should inform the defense that I have the pouch in question in the antechamber outside the court. Sorry? As I understand it, when the police arrived on the scene and found Mr. Sholmes injured, they removed the pouch in order to assess the wound. Oh, thank goodness! I thought I was getting forgetful for a moment. Since then, it has been in my safekeeping, along with all other evidence relating to the case. I can personally vouch for the fact that it has not been touched since the incident occurred. Very well. While extremely unconventional during a summation examination, I must demand that the prosecution presents the item in question with all speed. Demand? Yeah, demand. Bring forth Mr. Herlock Sholmes' pouch. I see. So this is the pouch worn by Mr. Sholmes on the night in question, is it? Look at that! One of the files is broken, and the leather around it is scorched black. It's almost as if the file exploded. Exploded? So, that night, the bullet from the Sculpin Brothers' gun struck Mr. Sholmes' pouch. It was the glass file exploding that caused the fellow's injury. This bullet did not penetrate the victim, but was deflected into a wall of shot. Nope, hang on, we'll get there. A delightfully complex aroma. A delightfully complex aroma. Well, it would appear one mystery has been solved at least. though it has no bearing on the truth of this case. Huh? The bungling and burgling brothers shot the detective, and the accused shot the pawnbroker. The pertinent facts of the case remain unaltered. But at least the mystery is solved. I can sleep easy tonight. Thank you, young man. Thank you very much. Glad I could help. Due to its bearing on the conundrum just solved, the court will sequester this scruffy pouch as evidence. Hurley's pouch isn't scruffy. Sholmes' pouch has been entered into the court record. The pouch Mr. Sholmes was wearing around his waist at the time of the shooting. One of the glass files is smashed, and there are scorch marks around it. Now, the summation examination. It would appear the defense is somewhat struggling to alter opinion, Please, my lord, a little more time. After all, that's a new piece of evidence. It could be a valuable clue, and you can't afford to overlook anything here, Rinosuke. There's still a way to turn this around somehow. I'm sure of it. Okay, well, let's look at the new clue. I can't find anything out of place. Oh, okay. These glass vials are full of Hurley's homemade potions. His potions are too strong for you, traveler. You have to find a seller who sells weaker potions. Homemade? Yes, like fingerprint powder to show up where people have touched things. A scent-amplifying solution to intensify a smell lingering on an object. That's amazing. They're all very easy to use. There's just one thing that you have to be careful of. They're all very flammable. Mr. Sholmes is a walking bomb. Either he's passionate about finding out the truth, or just oblivious to the dangers. Same line, yellow one. I made potions. Potions and lotions galore. There's broken one. This file has been smashed to pieces. Presumably, this is where the bullet struck. As soon as the bullet hit the chemical in that file, there would have been a really big explosion. Big explosion? Well, Hurley's potions and chemicals are amazingly useful for the investigation works he does, but they're also quite tricky to handle. Strictly at least, they're very dangerous. Oh, I'm sure that when this file broke, the chemical inside would have ignited. Note to self, always walk on the right-hand side of Sholmes in the future. The left side is the danger zone! Oh look, there's a hole here at the back. It doesn't look much like a bullet hole. Clearly something's through the leather with great force. Something must have pierced it somehow to have left this hole behind. Yes, it looks that way. Mr. Sholmes and his pouch both took a beating, didn't they? See? The other side. It's really scorched badly just here. Oh, the strap is broken, look! This must be where the bullet hit them. Let's see. Oh! Third bullet discovered! This whole case just got blown wide open. What the? Iris, look! Look where the broken file was. Do you see it? That's the Stalkin Brothers bullet! What a stroke of luck that it hit his pouch. This is an amazing discovery. What this means is, there were 3 bullets fired at Winterbanks that night. We found exactly what that juror was talking about. The third bullet. It's time to press that juror again, I think. 3 bullets! Who was it? It's the maid, right? As only 2 bullets were found at the scene, I would say the whole case is done and dusted. Unless... J'accuse! It's the number of bullets that has you convinced. Only 2 bullets were fired, and the 2 guns that fired them have been examined by the police. When the parlour maid asks me how many invited to dinner, I always tell her to count the table settings. Well, that's logical, I suppose. Although... Yes? Sometimes after dining, crockery does go missing. One or two guests rather like the fine china. And they break up the set? Unforgivable. Does your employer dine with thieves? Is your employer Alibaba? So I suppose if there was another bullet somewhere of which we are unaware, I have to reconsider my position. Like this one? Third bullet somewhere on the scene? I can prove that. Allow me to show you then the third bullet.
Take that!
Kaboom. Have we ever met her boss? I do not believe we have. We do not know who her boss is. I was thinking of, you know, having, I do remember, you know, a lord with a maid, but I was thinking of, once again, the bird game. Aviary attorney and the lion. I somehow got them confused twice. Calling it now, her boss is the villain in this case. Maybe. I don't think so. I feel like we've met everyone we're going to. Here it is. We discovered it just now. Unless it's rhyming with a previous Ace Attorney and there's going to be some last minute reveal. I don't know. We discovered it just now. It was in the pouch. Yes! On the night in question in Winterbank's pawn brokery, another bullet was fired.
Hold it!
What is this new trickery, you Nipponese conjurer? Where did you find that bullet? It was lodged inside Mr. Shumps' pouch. What? This pouch was removed from around Mr. Shumps' waist before he was taken to hospital. Now the location of the extra bullet would have been the rhyme, and that ain't. Alright. And since then, it has been touched by no one. According to your own testimony. Do you mean to say the shot fired by the Skulkin brothers that night? Yes, as your lordship has surmised, it hit this pouch. But that makes no sense whatsoever. We already know the whereabouts of the bullet fired at Mr. Shumps. Do we? Or is that the third bullet, the unknown bullet? That's a completely different bullet. It's clearly visible in this photo print. Huh? Ah! 2 guns from the scene have already been submitted into the court record as evidence. Yes, that of Mr. Winterbank, and that belonging to the Skulkin brothers. And an examination of both guns revealed that a single bullet had been fired from each. Oh! But that must mean... That's right. We now know that on the night in question, 3 bullets were fired. However, only 2 bullets were fired from the guns recovered from the crime scene. And until that incontrovertible inconsistency is somehow explained, we cannot and must not pass judgment. Ugh. Ugh. Order! 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 While this summation examination remains incomplete, the court has been presented with new facts. Facts that would appear to shake the very foundations upon which this case against the defendant has been built. Order, 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 order! And then, many punches. As is my prerogative in this situation, I hereby temporarily suspend the summation examination. By Jupiter! What? Bailiff! Bring the witnesses back to the stand at once. Witnesses. Go. Were you listening to proceedings while the defense carried out the summation examination? We was, Governor, we was. We can dispense with the tedious preamble. Simply answer this one question. A 3rd bullet has been identified at the scene of the crime. What do you make of that? Make of it, Gov? Don't make nothing of nothing if I can help it. Is it one of yours? God blimey, love. Gov. Not love. God blimey, love. God blimey. Not a chance. In that case, did you have an accomplice? What? What? Never! The Skulkin brothers work alone. It's just the two of us. That's our trademark. Isn't it? 3 of you? Soon we forget poor Sulky. Poor Sulky! Only 2 of the bullets from the crime scene originated from the firearms we have in evidence. The 3rd bullet was fired from another gun. Where is it? Lummy. That's an head scratcher. Counsel for the defense. Yes? I should like to hear your thoughts regarding these new developments. The 3rd bullet, and the mysterious missing firearm from whence it came. Thinking back over all the testimony we've heard and all the evidence we've seen, I think I'm starting to form a picture of what really happened that night. My lord, I think it's clear what this 3rd bullet tells us about the Skulkin brothers. Yeah, I've been saying they had another gun the whole time. I think I have another gun. One to shoot them. Yeah, one to shoot Winterbank. And Winterbank shot back but missed and hit the calendar. And then also some other stuff. What? Yeah, and then when Sholmes came in, when we all came in, they shot at Sholmes, they shot at us, and didn't hit Sholmes, and didn't. What? Bounced off. Nearly hit. Was it? No, I forgot. Term, I mean, didn't hit Sholmes, but hit his pouch. Ricocheted? No. Doesn't matter. They had another gun. Locked in. I just won $1 million. On that night at Winterbank's pawnbrokery, the brothers must have been in possession of another gun. We know that only 1 bullet was fired from each of the 2 firearms already in the court record. The logical conclusion, therefore, is that the brothers were working with an accomplice. What? That's not what I said. An accomplice who was carrying a gun. Yeah, alright, we're getting through the whole bottle then. God damn it, Van Zeeks. Oh, hardly a dribble left anyway. Not more than a mouthful. Cheers. Tink. I cheersed him. Ah. Oh. Yum. The last little bit isn't as nice as the rest. An accomplice, you say? Big swill. These protracted proceedings have already forced us to endure 2 summation examinations. Yet in all that time, there has been not a murmur of a 3rd man. If this apparently wraith-like being exists, the court must be shown hard evidence. Without it, this fantasy will be crushed. Ah. Prosecution demands answers on 2 counts. Rest in peace, me. True. Yep, so 8.6 standard drinks down. All gone. 2 skulls? For me? Firstly, proof, evidence that this accomplice was ever at the scene of the crime. And secondly, the identity of this spurious character. Skulkins are lying, I know that. But how can I ascertain the identity of the person they're hiding? Oh, who the fuck could it be? Oh, I don't know. It's a fucking mystery. Huh? Oh, yes, I do have to scull the rest of the drink. I already did as soon as he poured it, because it was a mouthful left. Hang on, there's a dribble. Yum. Well, counsel. I'm supposed to... I'm supposed to prove the existence of this accomplice and reveal the person's identity even. In response to the prosecutor's demands, my lord, the defense is... I don't fucking know! Do we have the third brother as a... I feel like we don't. Greg signals at you. The third brother the whole time. Oh, dang it! Little moustache, little skull thing, little skull and bones pendant. Anything like that? No, it really doesn't look the same. Agat's a fucking sus bucker is what he is. This motherfucker's sussy AF. What else we got? Tickets, representation papers, blood. What are we up to? Purple, blue, green, green. Green, green. Hang on. Yeah, hey, hang on. Eggs Benedict's made this mark. He scratched himself on the nubs. So Eggs is green, and that's green, and we got him. Nailed his ass. Got him. Can I prove that without... Hang on. Which one do I present? Guess the blood sample? Because I have to prove that it's him? Or did I say him and then have to prove it after? I'm gonna go with... What am I gonna go with? What's the question? Oh, the defense is ready to... Okay, let's just start with this. Ready to present answers. I got him. He was there. We got him. I believe I can provide all the answers the prosecution demands. Sorry, my Nipponese friend. Despite the swimming eyes, you seem to think you have something to say. What does the swimming eyes mean? You being racist about his appearance, or are you talking about how drunk I am? This promises to be interesting. Filled with tears. I have to push forward now. There's no other option. I need to use every single piece of evidence available to me if it will make a difference. In that case, counsel, I would ask you to present the evidence without delay. On the night in question, in the moments leading up to the death of the victim, what proof have you that there was a third intruder present at the scene? Blood. There's some blood. The evidence is right here in this portfolio. Jove, that portfolio again, is it? Yeah. Do you expect the court to rifle through your papers itself? Be more specific. Oh. You claim one of those blood samples proves the presence of this third intruder. Well, which one is it? Green. What am I looking at here? There appears to be some green paint or such like around the bullet hole in the middle of the calendar. That's a bloodstain, my lord. Bloodstain? It's fucking green! Green blood? Curious, even for you. Is the court to understand that the intruder was some unhuman creature? Some kind of xenomorph? It's something developed by Mr. Herlock Sholmes. Is it? I feel like it's something... Oh! Thank you, Romantic, for subscribing. Welcome to the skeleton crew or something. I don't know, I'll figure out a bit, a sentence, a phrase later on. What? Hang on, what are we up to? Inhuman creature. Yeah, it's not developed by Herlock Sholmes, it's developed by... Iris. Iris did it. By the great detective. New invention stop? Not yet appeared in stories stop? It's this, you see? It doesn't have a name yet, though. This fogger sprays a chemical that reacts with the different elements in people's blood to change its color. Different elements of people's blood? Yes, everyone's blood is slightly different, you see, because it's made up of different elements. I've got fire and water in my blood. Types. I don't know. Hey, romantic. I have poured a glass of wine every time Van Zeeks poured a glass of wine. And then I drank those glasses of wine. And it's making this a little harder than it should be. We're getting there. We're nearly done. So by seeing what color it changes to, you can tell in a flash whose blood it is. Oh, that brings a whole extra dimension to looking at blood. Yeah, and the bottle's gone now. Yeah, there was 6 times he did it? 5 or 6? Definitely not 7. Talk of blood and courtroom stop. Very exciting stop. Yep, all gone, all drunk. A lovely 2023 Cabernet Sauvignon. As an example, this one shows the blood of the victim, Mr. Winterbank. Playing a drinking game with wine? It's not a bad combo, it's fine. To use the Australian parlance, I'm gooning. If you'll pardon the double entendre, the second meaning there. That's an unfortunate occurrence of the last few years, is goon took on another meaning. The Americans and such ran away with it. We had that word first. It's our word. Ah, a striking blue. Yes, so you see, the green colour of this bloodstain on the calendar shows that somebody else was shot in the main part of the shop. Now, hold fire there, young man. Could be from some unrelated incident, couldn't it? No, it's not unrelated, because we saw it yesterday and it was fine. The date showing on the calendar is the date on which Mr. Winbank was killed. And that. By golly! Therefore, we can assume that whoever was shot on the same day. Then whose blood is it? Well, the Skulkin brothers in the stand don't appear to be suffering from any gunshot injuries. Which means it must be the blood of somebody else. The third intruder, in fact.
Objection!
Objection! Whose identity the court is still waiting to hear. You can't delay this any longer, my learned friend. Who is this alleged third intruder? Oh, this motherfucker! I've got you now, Eggs. The man's name is Eggert Benedict. Allegedly, it probably isn't. Eggert Benedict? Who on earth are you talking about, Counsel? He paid a visit to Winterbank's pawnbrokery on the afternoon before the incident took place. New clip unlocked? Uh-oh. Keen to see what this is going to be. When the accused attempted to deceive the pawnbroker into releasing this article into her possession. That's right. The man identified by the defense, Mr. Eggert Benedict, Molto Benedict, then attempted to take the article from the defendant by force. Such a fucking JoJo's character, look at that face. The very aptly timed tick up. Oh, I'm very excited to see this now. But okay. Yes, sir. I believe this filthy pickpocket thief has just redeemed an article from you, no? Yes, yes, the article in question belongs to me. I demand for it to be returned at once. Now that's a lie. What are you trying to pull? Give me back my overcoat, you wasteful. And needless to say, any music box discs too. Inspector Gregson was there at the time and can attest to what happened. In the end, it was the inspector himself who took the disc. Can you corroborate this account, Inspector? Yes, my lord. There's more or less what happened. And in the interests of being thorough, I asked Winterbank for a print showing the fellow. Taken from one of his red-end recorder governances. Yes, that's him talking to Mr. Winterbank that morning. And you claim this man is the brother's accomplice? Well, Mr. and Mr. Skulkin. Is that sulky? Never seen the geezer before in me life. On me life, Gov, on me life. Never seen him. Well, somewhat unsurprisingly, it appears our witnesses disagree with the assertion. And I'm sure your lordship recalls my learned Nipponese friend's actual assertion, which was that he could prove the identity of the alleged accomplice. Yes, and I can. Then show us the evidence. I agree. We must see proof that the clean-cut gentleman in the photograph is the filthy criminal you say he is. This is the last piece of evidence. I've had a feeling that something has been missing in this trial from the very start. But now, I'm hoping to drag it kicking and screaming into the courtroom. Are you ready to present your answer to the court then, counsel? Yes, my lord. The defense will present the evidence now. Proof that the man pictured in this photographic print was in fact the person struck by the third bullet. It's probably the music disc, right? The green blood?
Take that!
It's gotta be. As I mentioned before, on the afternoon of the day in question, the defendant attempted, deceitfully, admittedly, to reclaim this disc from Winterbank's. Which is when the aforementioned Eggert Benedict appeared on the scene, I believe. This man then attempted to purloin the article from the defendant's possession, no? That's correct, my lord. I myself was present at the time. It was following this that a minor incident occurred. But of course, sir. Here is the disc for you. Very well. Then I shall bid you farewell. Say goodbye to style. Wait a minute. That disc is mine. Oh. What do you think you're doing, you little tramp? You've drawn blood, you filthy animal. Being a music box disc, it has countless small but sharp metal protrusions all over its surface. Those protrusions caused Mr. Benedict's finger to bleed, and the resulting smear of blood is still visible on the disc now. Goodness, a bloodstain, is it? My assistant and I have just analysed the bloodstain here in this very courtroom, using my trusty Fogger gun. Yes, and we added the results to this portfolio. Hey, it's green. Which one's 05? It's exactly the same colour as the blood around the calendar. Stop. The evidence is conclusive. The man calling himself Mr. Eggert Benedict, who was in Winterbanks earlier in the day, is the accomplice who was present at the scene of the crime that same night. So there was someone else there. Look at those two brothers now. They're sweating buckets. Oi, what are you talking about? It's boiling in here. My lord, it is the opinion of the defense that Mr. Eggert Benedict should be summoned to the courtroom to testify. It would certainly seem that we can ill afford to ignore this gentleman's apparent presence.
Objection!
Objection! This has gone on long enough now. This flagrant ignorance of the mechanics of law. Huh? I can't. I'm out. I've got no wine. I shall upturn the bottle for that last 2 drops. Yummy, yummy. Sherlock Holmes, you say? Yes, I've heard the name. The protagonist in a series of short stories for the vulgar classes. A god of detection or some such. And now you employ chemical substances devised by this fantastical persona in the highest court in the land. Do you expect us to take you seriously? The samples made by this plaything are not fit to be called evidence. So the bloodstain turned a shade of green. What of it? Here's to you successfully proving that no other blood in the world could turn the same color. Huh, well. There it is! Are you watching, Bobble? And pray, do not even think of suggesting we would take Mr. Shumps' word for it. Huh. Is he right? Is Mr. Shumps' concoction a load of rubbish? I don't know. I mean, he is a good detective. What are you talking about? I can't let him get away with that. I knew it would come to this. Of course Mr. Shumps' invention isn't going to be recognized by any official body. What other choice did I have? I'm just remembering what Father Christmas over there said before. About how he was temporarily suspending the summation examination. Ah. In other words, the examination isn't over yet, is it? Good grief. What did you just say, young girl? Father Christmas, did you call me? And in a summation examination, the decision as to whether or not the trial continues. It's in the hands of the 6 jurors, isn't it? So the way I see it, it doesn't matter what certain other people think of Hurley's invention. At least, not for now. Yes, she's right. Young lady, you have quite the devious mind. It really just comes down to one thing. Whether these ladies and gentlemen of the jury are convinced by what you say, Bruno. Is that about right, would you say? Or did I misunderstand something? Unbelievable. Mr. Shumps' partner is a force to be reckoned with. Iris Wilson, sharpshooter. After that, shrewd priestess of the situation from an entirely unexpected source. It must be acknowledged that the previous summation examination has yet to reach its conclusion. This is absurd. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the court now looks to you for your final leanings in this matter. As proud citizens of Her Majesty's Britain, I'm sure you will come to fair and just conclusions. Bing, bing. So then, state your final decisions in turn, please.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty!
Not guilty.
I think this is the first time that they've not been unanimous. Other than, gradually convincing one the other. 2 call guilty and 4 call not guilty. Such is the outcome of the summation examination.
Objection!
My lord, with all due respect, this is an outrage. The prosecution refuses to accept this decision. Okay, get fucked. On what grounds? If these jurors are persuaded by some half-baked concoction devised by a pretender to real police work, then they are too ignorant to be trusted with the judgment of anyone's guilt. I'm sorry, Lord Van Zieks, but the outcome of the summation examination cannot be ignored. This trial will continue. Ah. Ah. Nevertheless, we find ourselves in a rather awkward situation. The defense has very reasonably requested the subpoena of a new witness. But sadly, I fear that will be impossible. What? The name the gentleman gave for himself, Eggert Benedict, is quite clearly false. I don't believe it. Just when I've managed to prove the man was there at the night. Could I say something? Who was that, please? Who spoke? It was me, my lord. Juror number 5. What have you to say, madam? If possible. Inspector. Eh? Me, madam. Me, ma'am. I wonder if you might show the photographic print to me again? The one in which the gentleman is shown? Yes, this one you mean? Of Mr. Benedict? Yes, there's no doubt in my mind. Juror number 5, you don't mean to say you know this man? Yes, I know him. What? No. Good gracious! Order! 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 Juror number 5, how on earth? A communications officer, stop. As we can clearly see, the gentleman in the photograph is stop. Also a communications officer, stop. He works in my office, stop. What a surprise. A very talented operator, in fact, stop. He should be in the communications station now, stop. Tapping away on the telegraph, stop. This doesn't seem right somehow. I can't put my finger on why, but it doesn't feel right. I suppose we all imagined the accomplice would be some sort of hardened criminal. It's a bit unexpected to find out he has a respectable job by day, whatever he gets up to at night. Yes, I suppose that's it. I suppose that's why I felt something was wrong. But that's not it. I bet there's something else. If the gentleman is at London's communication station, we should be able to subpoena him within the hour. Lord Van Zieks, if you please. Yes, my lord. Make the necessary arrangements with all haste. As your lordship bids. The court will recess for 1 hour. When the new witness arrives, we shall reconvene to hear the gentleman's testimony. Inspector Gregson. Yes, my lord? I should like to hear from you specifically about events at the pawnbrokery on the day in question. Come to my chambers during the recess. Come to my chambers. Come to my private chambers during the recess. Yes, sir, my lord. We have a whole hour to ourselves. Oh. Very well. Court is adjourned until 1:40 p.m. Cool. Let me have a little look-see. That was part 6, according to this. 7, 8. Not looking at any spoilers or nothing. 7 and 8, and that's it. So yeah, that is a great place to stop, especially since it's 11:15. Hey, 4th, just in time for me to stop. That was a cool 2 parts. Some shit happened. I got a little bit hammered. Yum, yum. 2 more parts left remain in this episode, in this adventure, in this story, in this entire game. We're nearly done. Oops. Don't do that. Nope. Uh-oh. Nope. Nope. Don't look. The old Bailey. That is going to be it for me tonight. Thank you all very much for watching. This case is a doozy. This is a cool case. There's some cool stuff going on. We had some roadblocks, some stumbles along the way. We tripped and we caught ourselves. Hey, 4th. For this one, every time, it's pretty good. Cutting the good stream here so I can go shopping and get another bottle. Every time Van Zieks poured a glass of wine, I poured a glass of wine. But I didn't have enough bottle to keep up. Yep, he poured one more than I could. He, to be fair, he had 2 bottles. He smashed one and then he had another. I only had the one. So we had to make do. Country girls make do. We got as far as we could. I guess see you next time. When I might do the same gimmick again. It's pretty fun. Just checking my work schedule. I'm not working next Thursday neither. So if I stream again next Wednesday, I can do the same thing. Go get another bottle of Cab Sav. Maybe a different wine. I don't know. Try a few. See which one's really nice. Maybe just get a whole fucking goon box and goon for the whole time. If I don't show up tomorrow night, I know what, I'm fucking gonna show up. Tomorrow night is so far away. I got plenty of time to sober up. No gooning on Twitch? No. None of that gooning. Plenty of Australian gooning is fine. Well, I don't know about fine. I haven't actually looked at the terms and conditions. I might be about to get banned immediately. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure Flux has drunk streamed before. Yep, I'm going to go watch that clip. You are all going to go watch Bubble at some point. Go watch Bubble as soon as she is available on the schedule when she isn't playing Friday night Pacific Drive. Me, myself, probably next Wednesday, maybe earlier. We don't know. See you next time on literus69.twitch.com.au. Bye-bye. Bye. I wish I had a waving thing I could do. Hand.jpg. Skeleton hand.jpg. There we go. Copy image. OBS. Fuck, how do you source image? Oh, we're doing it, gang. We're not doing it. How do you fucking hand? This is gonna be a really funny bit eventually. Fuck, I need to save the picture. Pictures, scale, baby. Oh, fuck, it's not got... Alright, that's fine. Here's a little hand. Okay, bye. Look, I'm waving. Bye. See you next time. Oh, hey, okay, I'm still here. What's dang it? What did you DM? Oh, yeah, perfect. Oh, I don't know if I can upload that. Add image. Yeah, I don't think I can I just do this? I can just do this. There we go. Here you go. Oh, it's gone. I lost it. Bye!